Greetings, blessings, salutations. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and one could say it is Talcott time. AV, that had me chuckling, man. Roll that beautiful bean footage, man. That beautiful opening I've got still running. Simple Jack, welcome for joining our poll. And man, Talcott Express, I am a fan of your support, man. Support of one another, brothers and sisters, that is what will change this world. And I believe we all kind of want a better world than what we've maybe seen. So today, the topic of following faith, that is what I am doing. I am following faith. I'm following the faith, right? Earlier today, I was imagining, right, what should I do? Do I want to go online again? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? What is the risk versus benefit? I imagined, because of some of the messages and texts I've received, I've imagined that there's some folks out there who might receive some encouragement from some of the things I share, and there's a possibility I can offer some encouragement to someone again today. So following my faith is what brings me here today, hoping to find a way to be of value in a world that seems to have lost its way. And I know that I did. But then by some grace, I've found my way to the way of inner focus, inner peace. I've learned a lot of things about this reality, this time we are all experiencing, the very realistic simulation of life. The organic one that we're all convinced we're part of. This life that we're living together, it can be a dream or a nightmare. I've experienced both. I thought I was smart before, and others used to listen to me when I was living in hell. But we're living at a very interesting time, brothers and sisters, with the opportunities of these electronic communication devices, right? The corporations and the organizations that built the power grids. There's a lot of people involved in this simple moment, right? Me communicating with you. There's all the people involved at Avista, my power company, the people involved with YouTube, the manufacturers of my laptop, the technology of the camera, everything we use comes from those around. And what I don't remember where I had this conversation earlier today. Some memories are coming up, which is why I'm maybe heading this way. But the observation I've noticed is we live in a world where people lack gratitude. See, gratitude is hidden from those who are living in fear, regret, anxious, right? The common mindset of man today is not calm and peaceful. So it would appear, because look at the world we coexist with each other. We could have a very calm and peaceful life together, working towards, improving the world around us. Small ways, big ways, finding ways to do better. See, gratitude is hidden from the arrogant. The arrogant are too busy looking for things that are wrong. The insecure, they're too busy looking for things to be afraid of. The angry are looking for things to be angry at. And what happens is the thoughts we entertain within our mind throughout the day in our lives, those thoughts generate feelings within us. And those thoughts and chemical reactions, the electrical signals and the chemical reactions we perceive, those actually affect where our mind and awareness will focus. This is theoretical, and I don't know if this has been actually studied and proven, but it's a logical process that seems to make perfect sense. See, and when logic follows patterns, when you follow the patterns in logical conclusions and you look at what is true on different levels of perspective, life starts to make a lot more sense. And I'll be honest, this is my testimony as Jack Talcott. Life was pretty tough till I started searching for God. And not saying I found, but I know that I feel pretty comfortable in my personal relationship with the creation and the creator. That is the creation that is happening through the creator that is. Because brothers and sisters, you and me and everyone we know, we are the happening here on earth together. So what is happening in your life actually it concerns me. It affects me. Because I want you and everyone you know, I want you all to live successful lives of service towards the world, finding your way to bring a better way forward. This world, we've got a society of competition and one-upmanship, if that's a word. I think you know the concept, always trying to one-up one another. This is a reminder of a conversation I had earlier with London and some others. People try to one-up their traumas, their problems. I noticed this, I called it long ago to myself. I called it like the Oprah Winfrey syndrome. These talk shows were glorifying misery and suffering, people like in dysfunctional habits and thought patterns. And I was like, this is entertaining, I guess. But it actually happens not just on, media, happens in our lives day to day. See all these competitions of who had it worse, who had it better. It doesn't really matter, does it? In the greater scope of things, all of the past brings forth today. So as long as whoever comes into my day treats me respectfully, authentically, dude, I got no problems. I don't have any problems with anybody, all of you, everyone you know. We are all part of God's plans. And there is a God, a creative force that is beyond the comprehension of what we might imagine, but yet that is where it is. God is in the imagined and through the experience. Because it's through the experience that we imagine explanations. And it's through the explanations, the words, our language. That's where the belief systems and the meanings start to be patterned within. Yet all of the patterns of existence, they are revealed openly through nature. Humans, humanity, each of us, those in government, those in corporations, we get to decide when to withhold that which is truthful, that which is generous. We get to decide when to withhold that which is kind or caring. The more I've been thinking about this concept of the ego, the body and everything, as a governor, right, as a restrictor of the available power, the universal energy that is within us is limited by our human awareness and consciousness and whatever sensory ability. But within us each, at every moment is an opportunity to become grounded and one with the moment, the experience, and becoming one with those you're sharing the experience with. And then from there, you can imagine others who are experiencing experiences right now. And we're all sharing this time right now. So there really is no separation between any of us. That's you and me. That's these, you know what, I'm going to speak freely. That's these asshats being puppeted in roles of governance. We're all part of this same experience. So I know I found peace. I know many others have found their way to inner peace, to personal transformation, right? Spending time in this lifetime in darkness, filled with addiction or self-abuse. There's a lot of people like me, you know, maybe get underestimated. Because kindness is often ignored and misunderstood in today's society, unfortunately. As a strong and kind man, I've seen people's reactions quite often. And so what others do or don't do in response to our kindness, in response to our authentic being and words, if people react to that, that's on them. I just realized my tempo of speech has been slowing down again, probably. Sorry for that. I swear, I have to listen at double speed on some of these people, myself included. Hey, what I've been learning, life is a lot easier. Life is a lot more fun when you can focus on you and recognize that you, the you that you're trying to be, is only right now. All of the memories are what you were, what you were at that time. And so if you can find ways to make amends for the past sins, the past regrets, the past harms that may have been created, if you can find your way to doing what's right finding forgiveness, finding the way to bring apologies, to make amends, to if you can find a way to bring peace in your life, in your relationships, maybe it's a family member you haven't talked to in a while, long lost brother or sister, cousin. Maybe it's someone from the past that you really felt a nice, strong connection to. This is our lifetime, brothers and sisters. Things, people, they do come and go, but relationships and connections are what that's what we're here for. Welcome, brother. Good to see you, Tarek.
What's up, Jack? How are you?
Good.
Good. Can I talk to you for a second, or you're on to a different subject?
I'd love to talk to you, but your audio is like real robot-y, real static. Can I ask you to drop or drop and rejoin or try something different?
Is that better or no?
No, not really.
Let me even go back again. Hold on.
Please give that a try. Thank you. Yes, and for any who do wish to join, please do click the link, pop up. For any who were paying attention at the beginning, I started a few minutes late, and I owned that. Poor planning on my part. I decided at last minute that today might be a good day to cook again, something nice, substantial for me. But I didn't time it real well. Got caught up in the preparation. Had to wait till I could get the rice off.
How about now, Jack? Is that better?
It's a little better. We can try.
I mean, I just want to get my point across about what happened the other day, and then all right. Here's the thing. Okay, you stand with Paul, like my point. Okay, stand with Paul one thing, and you say, for example, Paul, you're 100% correct on this. I know you and Paul sometimes don't get along on certain things, because I get it, and maybe it's a personality issue. I think Paul is just the way he is. In terms of his thought process, is great. Yes.
I cannot understand you. The audio has gotten to where I can't even get what you're saying, and I would love to discuss whatever it is you're.
Is there any way I can? I mean, I was just on Paul's channel, and it was fine. Can I do something different to talk to you, or
no? For right now, I don't know what to suggest. I don't know what's going on.
Let me see if I can go on there. How about if I lower my voice a little bit? Is that better?
It's
Jack, I'm trying to get this out of the way, so this way we're straight. Like I told you,
tell you what. How about this? Unless you feel the necessity to discuss this publicly, give me a call. Okay, after the stream, we'll have a clear connection. You'll have my time, attention. We can discuss whatever you'd like. But if you'd like it to be public, you're going to have to do something. This connection is not my problem to deal with, okay?
I got you. I want to be public. Hold on. I'll try to fix it.
Please do. Thank you. Praise God, brothers and sisters. Following faith brings me to today. And what I understood very little. And one of the things I'd like to know is how to properly pronounce his name. But I'm sure the discussion was directly related to my experience with Mr. Paul Unslaved. And I see one of Paul's bootlickers right here. I'm sick of Daddy Paul, Jack. He doesn't love me like the other boys. I don't know why. So I'm defecting. Can you help me, Jack, please? I've tried helping you, Lou. You've proven to be helpless. At least from me. But that's only because you lack respect. But I can't help you earn respect. You've got to find that yourself, Lou. So when you can find respect for you and me, yeah, I can help you, brother. I could help you accomplish all sorts of things, maybe understand a lot of different things, but I've accepted my role, brothers and sisters. There is something bizarre in my life. You guys are observers and witnesses of me doing my best to communicate with other adults that are alive here at this time as well. Let's give it, hopefully.
I took that off.
What's that?
I said I took that off and everything. Is that better?
I can barely understand you, honestly.
Yeah, are you avoiding my question today? What's going on?
Actually, how about this possibility? Maybe the words that you're so insistent need to be said publicly here on my platform. Maybe the universe is telling you, maybe this isn't the time or the place, and maybe the words you're thinking aren't even accurate. Maybe you're being protected from saying things that you might later regret. It's possible.
No.
Well, you want to blame me. You want to blame me, ask me if I'm avoiding you because your electronic connection is incompetent?
It feels like you can hear me good, though. I can hear you.
I'm making an effort to try and understand you. So you want to argue with me about the quality of your audio?
No, I'm not trying to argue with you about Jack at all. All I'm saying to you is, if you can hear me great, and I can hear you great, where's the disconnect?
I cannot hear you. The audio, there's fascinating. Sounding great.
I just went on Paul's channel. Everything was perfect. And I just took that.
Okay, well, tell you what. Here's the guy you like to enable. Paul, is his audio good?
No, Tarek, your audio's not working, man. I came to enable the broadcast.
No, you dumbass. Fuck, oh dear. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for.
If it's not working, it's like you were avoiding me. That's all. I don't know what to do.
I laugh because what do you do if you don't cry other than laugh? At the complete praise God. That's the only way I'm getting through this day again. I mean, can you believe this guy, Talcott? I mean, what even brings him over here to do this? It's absolute craziness.
His
ego.
He brought his ego to show it off, and God is showing him he's kind of a clown.
If I'm a clown, for real and there, Jack, I can say a lot of things, but I'll be respectful. But all I say is to you is,
Tarek, please forgive this interruption. Please, I wonder, how do I pronounce your name, please? How do I say it properly?
You can say Tarek or Tarek, it's fine.
Tarek or Tarek is okay.
Brother, however you say it, yeah.
Brother, I intend no disrespect to you, but you are coming on here with absolute horrible audio, insisting that I sit here and listen to you after I've told you and you accuse me of being dishonest. You accused me of trying to evade your words. Brother, you are very confused. So I don't
I'm not confused at all. I'm not confused at all. That's what I thought you were doing. It's a belief.
Okay, so now that Paul confirmed what I was saying, you accepted his confirmation. So please accept. Your audio sucks, brother. I appreciate the support you've shown me before, and I certainly don't want to be disrespectful towards you today. But please trust, I know my role. People like to bring me their egos and show off to me. You don't need to show off to me.
I'm not showing off to you.
Okay, to others. You don't have to show off to others.
I'm not showing up to other. That's all we get the record straight. That's all.
I hope to when I can better understand your audio.
I'll leave it.
Please and thank you. Paul, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you today.
Well, I'd be doing a lot better, Jack, if these miscreants weren't coming over here to interfere with your broadcast. If they're going to come over here, at least get their fucking shit together. Am I right?
It would make it more simple, would it not? I mean, Paul, it's okay. Maybe, and I'm not being sensitive. I'm just describing this experience as someone who's trying to host a panel. It's quite damn disrespectful.
They don't get it. This is why we always wind up bonding, because despite our disagreements, we occupy the same leadership position in life and on the metaverse. These folks can't handle it on any level. They can't do what the fuck we do.
Not yet. But this is where I truly believe these roles are coming in. We are here to help correct each other. Tarek is continuing. He's trying to connect. Let's see. Hopefully. Did it work this time?
I think it did. Did you hear me or no?
Not very well. I can guess at what you're saying, and I can guess pretty confidently most of the time, but
You want to try to translate his Morse code for the rest of us? Because you're pretty good at this. He's laughing right there. I got that.
that was just
a
laugh.
laugh. Yeah.
Paul, did you hear me at all or no?
He
What?
asked,
Did
Paul,
you give
can
me
you
the-
hear me at all? I think that's what he said.
Oh. Yeah, no. I got to go to Talcott for the translation.
Wow, that's weird. I'm doing the same thing I'm on your show.
Perhaps it does have something to do with my signal strength. I don't know if that's a possibility, but brother, it is
Try
not
the moose
intentional.
creature. Try the moose creature. If he's coming through, then it's not him. I mean, come on. Is there any more evidence of the failure of human beings in their condition?
Absolute no way of cooperation.
I'm sorry.
This is the first, you know how they have a cooperative? Like they'll call it a co-op community? This is the first non-co-op community where no one can cooperate. It's, again, I do bit non-bits. I have a community non-community. The first one that can't cooperate. How could that go wrong? Am I right?
It's a certainly interesting dynamic that's been growing here, but I've been learning to trust. Life is a puzzle. Life is a game, right? And each day we get different information. So why do I keep attracting this? What is preventing?
This might be extraordinarily clear evidence of your loser failure path right now, Jack. You know,
Jack.
and I don't want to say it, but a lot of these people show up at my area as well. So it's not going to bode well for me either, if that's the case. Although, in my ego, I choose to think these people are here to learn from me. See how I'm laughing as I say that, presuming anyone wants to learn? You know, you might be in the same position, Jack. You have so much to teach and share, but you can't do it because these people can't even cooperate.
I was yelling at this guy for bad audio in the wrong room, Jack. That's how much of a loser failure I am.
Thanks for your effort, Moose. But it doesn't surprise me. Thank you. Thank you for your efforts.
Praise God, brother. God brought us together.
See, Tarek, brother, your audio, I don't know what is going on. I'm sure it was important.
I mean, if he would pay his phone bill, it might work.
Hey, oh man, these damn bills, dude.
What's with that, huh? Let's like rewrite the rules and shit to where that doesn't exist.
That's the point. We could.
It's just occupied. Talcott has occupied land and cable. All of a sudden now the cable service is all Talcottian. It's his face on the side of the van. We don't know how the service gets paid for. We don't ask.
No, dude. Rewrite the rules of the world. I'm telling you. Selfishness is what created the divisions. The divisions created, well, I don't know where it all starts, but we've got selfishness, divisions, and the divisions lead to the governments and corporations.
And imagine disagreements.
Throw a lot of those in, and then you're fucking paying for wars.
Right? He's got a whole mapping for this now. Okay. Selfishness leads to disconnection. Disconnection leads to imagined disagreements, which leads to wars. And then you got to keep legal secrets about what you did at the wars.
Exactly.
There's the chain of title. Now, how do we break that down? How do we become the interrupter of that?
There is a path. The weak point. Well, there's a lot of weak points.
I'm sitting right here, Jack.
Believe it or not, unfortunately, I got to accept you as a strength in somehow.
Praise God.
Praise God.
You're not going to bomb the London Underground, are you, Jack? The way you started laying out there, whatever you were laying out. There's a lot of weak points in this system.
No, yes, the weak point is the human mind. And the human mind, there's power points within the structures, like focal points. One of them, I think one of the greatest tools is the puppets in Congress. If we can get them under control, all we got to do is get the right ideas, the right people together, and show that no, you're not, to the people in Congress, no, you're not going to deny your culpability, your responsibility. You guys are public servants here for the purposes of the oaths you swore, and obviously you're in dereliction of your duties since you're constantly fighting amongst each other at taxpayer and foreign lives expense. See, it's the world we were born into.
You ever thought about doing a citizen's arrest on one of these fucking people? And
yes.
Oh no. God. I was trying to get you out of trouble. You're getting yourself deeper in. This is why you got labeled a terrorist by the post office.
What I figured
he's gonna do citizen's arrest at the UN.
No, dude.
Mr. Putin, you're going to have to come with me. I'm Jack Talcott.
I'd like to have...
I'll tell you what, these war crimes aren't going to stand. My name's Jack Talcott. We're taking your ass in.
You almost need a Talcott SS because you can't do this work on your own on the ground. We won't be able to get the teaching from you anymore. We need a group of folks who can go and arrest all the UN officials for you. This is your idea, not me. I'm not a part of this.
All right.
But you need that in your organization, whatever it is.
What about this plan? Since everyone worships authority, right? All you got to do is feed the authority the right information.
Okay, well, I got an idea. You just made me think of something.
Make Jack the authority.
Zeus was like the ancient god of lightning. So what if you created a costume and put lightning bolts on it just to really signify the power that you hold in the knowledge?
Dude, I don't know how to respond to that.
Sorry.
But the plan for citizen arrest. We get some psychiatrists, some psychologists who understand, and they use their position to diagnose some of these billionaires. They've got very obvious patterns of insecurities, which is it's projected out in their selfish behavior. They've got a disease of collecting money and property, and it's at the detriment of everyone else. So I think in the name of world safety, we get the experts to get the authorities involved, and we make some arrests, bring these people in and teach them how to be nice.
Right. So use the medical arm of society to really just kind of put a label on them in order to just deprive them of their right to continue to do corruption.
Yes.
Because they don't have a right really to do that. So if we could just get them all labeled, just a few psych evals here and there. It's not going to be hard to do that paperwork. We'll get it done. And by we, I mean you. I want nothing to do with this, but I support your idea.
I know.
It's a royal we, you.
But it's at the, you got to understand, it's at the same time. It's not in it. They're brought in not for the purpose of punishment and persecution. They are brought in for the purposes of education,
re-education, right?
Yes. And at the same time, we use this evidence of dis-ease, right? The source of dis-ease. We use that evidence to go to the legislators and rewrite all the rules so that the systems they're not designed for the corrupted to thrive.
Now, this is obviously your vision, and I'm not going to take anything away from that. I'm giving you complete credit where it's due.
But it's delusional.
See, now here we go. I'm just wanting to ask, we can hear you now. I just want to ask a question, like in your vision of this idea you have that you're going to complete with whoever works on it. Is there a camp that these people are going to go to be maybe re-educated? And sort of why? I don't know why he's laughing. I don't know why he's laughing.
Oh my God.
I have a question for you after you answer this one, Jackie.
Go ahead, we'll wait.
All right. So, hey, Tarek, is it Tarek or Tarek?
Actually, you said it right. My real name is Tarek. You're right.
Tarek. Okay, so Tarek has a question for you, Jack, and I'm going to say it for him because I don't think he should be under the fire. I've been under the fire a few times. Me and you have a good relationship. If you whip me, I'll be back tomorrow. So Tarek here wants to know why you went over to London McLovin and the Sympathetic Warriors channel, and you were saying some not so great things about our friend Mr. Unslavious here, the Emperor, the god of all media, the guy who kind of puts fire under our ass and makes us grow, right? And so that's what Tarek was wondering.
I appreciate it.
So yeah, I see your question. Why, one, you agree with Paul and state he is your leader? That is never been stated by me. I am my own leader, and if that's not obvious,
it's not obvious. But go ahead.
All right.
God's my leader. I just want to be clear.
State he is your leader. Then when you go on your channel with Satanic Mental Warrior, golly geez, and the London bitch, you say nothing but bad things about Paul. That is an inaccurate representation of what I said. Okay. Now, what I have said was critical. Okay. But what I have also said was honest and caring. And I've explained my intentions repeatedly for the criticism I've offered. It's not to make me feel better or to make Paul feel bad. No, it's so I believe we could find a way to work together.
By making somebody look bad?
Your car. Brother, I crashed your car, but my intent was not to crash it at all. I was just
I don't get it,
Tarek. Hey, Tarek. Okay, so obviously, now I answered your question of why I spoke honestly with London and Z, because I thought Z actually described Paul pretty accurately. in what he'd observed in his own experience.
So you
So-
haven't noticed
that?
at the risk of possibly being thrown out as always, you don't see a constant pattern of you showing up at places people are complaining about me to double down on the narrative, and there's not equally at all as much sort of standing on the truth of what you say I am as value and what I stand for. Like there's never as much energy to go, hey, let's like share his stuff, let's like work with him, you know, let's like maybe prop him up a bit instead of try to tear him down because maybe he's like a tip of a spear for the rest of us. No, the inclination is always to show up, to shit on me, to disrespect me, to detract from me, to demean me.
I know you
It
think
seems
that.
so. I never really see anywhere where anyone shows up with other channels hating on me and defends me, but they show up to channels hating on me and join in very quickly and readily and over again. So I just find that interesting.
I know. And
I mean, you guys never went to Welsh News Network when Dave and everyone was over there hating on me when I was playing the streams and went there to defend me and anything that I do and stand for.
Pretty uninvolved with any of that. But here, Paul, I'm sorry you feel that way or you see that. But here's something, Tarek. You're real critical of the way I talk about Paul, apparently, but before I went and joined Z and London, I stopped by Paul's only to be shown disrespect and no fucking care for me. So after being insulted by Paul, then I did join those who happen to be sharing the same opinion of me. And then I've tried talking to Paul more times than I should even see. I get criticized for being so stupid to keep returning to Paul.
No, you're lacking the discernment to realize what I've told you over and over again is those folks don't want to see you and I in the same room, the flow states. So they call you stupid to activate your ego to get you to act on what they want.
Yes. No, I agree.
Paul. Hey, Tarek.
Well,
hey, Moose.
Can I just say one thing? One thing. That's it.
Why would your friends or supporters call you stupid for doing what you choose to do? Do you think anyone calls me stupid for following my impulse to be patient?
You're not demonstrating patience. You're not demonstrating respect, Paul. And so while you guys want to disagree with what I have experienced and just told you truthfully, I don't give a fuck if you agree or not. People have said to me, Jack, why do you keep going back to Paul's panel for him to rape you every day? Okay, because Paul disrespects me on a daily basis, and you want to question my, you know what, Tarek?
Jack, may I change the energy real fast, guys? I'm not going to take it off of what you guys are talking about. I just want to change the energy real quick. What I want to say is what I hear from both of you guys is I hear from Paul saying, I wish people would go out and say good things about me. What I hear from Jack is, hey, I'm going around and I'd like a little respect. Jack's looking for a little respect, and Paul is looking for people to not just go around and talk bad about him. That's what I see right here. And I yield.
But what does Paul do? Paul runs around talking bad about people. That is his content. He opens a panel for a bunch of people to hang out with, to listen to him insult and gossip and complain about other people, restreaming others. How many hours does he fucking loop? And you guys just sit there lapping it up like it's value? I played along for a long time trying to make excuses for myself. Yeah, maybe this will work out because maybe people are noticing me and maybe they will care about what I'm saying. But no, Tarek, Moose.
No, I still care about you as a human being.
Jack.
I care about you. Go ahead.
You care about me, but you want me to ignore the disrespect offered by Paul. And you want to criticize me publicly. You want to publicly criticize me for standing with other men like me who have had enough of his fucking childish bullshit.
Okay, can I speak for 1 second if you can hear me?
Please do.
All right. So I know when you, Paul, get into it, I think he doesn't like insult you in terms of like hating on you. He's just speaking the truth from his perspective. But when you went on the other channel with what London and Satanic Warrior, you guys were hating on him. There's a difference between
Bullshit,
not
dude.
agreeing.
Did you go back and look at it beyond where you were sitting next to Paul's fucking narrative? Did you listen to the words that were said?
Yeah, I heard him.
How do we know the difference? How do we know the difference, Tarek?
I don't know the difference between what? I'm sorry. What was your question again?
Between saying whatever from your perspective and shit talking. How do you know the difference?
Well, I'm saying like I watched Jack and Paul for almost a year now, and I know when they get into it, they do always get into it over the fact that Jack, for example, feels like he's not as smart as Paul, and Paul thinks he's way over him. And I think Paul is much brighter than anybody on the panel. That's just my opinion, though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And that's always been the issue when Paul starts talking about, for example, his kid or his ex-wife or his marriage or whatever, and it kind of hits a soft spot for Jack, and he gets triggered.
Hey, Tarek, listening to a man like Paul imagine shit about my family and about me, listening to him imagine insults and trying to gaslight me to believing things is untrue. You know what, brother? If you're foolish enough to not recognize my part of this experience and Paul's bad parts of my experience, you're in denial, dude.
All right, I want to jump in here real fast. I want to change the energy, Jack. It's going bad fast. I'm not trying to tell you to get back with Paul. I'm not trying to tell you to get away from him. I'm just telling you that this energy is coming off you. When I came up, you were laughing. I thought we were having a good time when I came up. I'm not attacking you, brother. I want to point out that this is not the way to come together. You want to come together with Paul.
Whoa. Moose.
I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm saying this isn't how
Paul makes it impossible for me to exist as me. Okay, he sees no way for us to work together with me being me. He wants to be this bitch boy that takes his false narratives and all his insults, and he wants me to be like you, Moose, Tarek, O'Shea. I don't want to be like you guys.
Why? I'm not struggling. I may have some spiritual things that I need to work on, but I have a good life, brother. Why wouldn't you want to be like me? People love me.
Here's why, Moose. You've shown to me a man who's not worthy of respect, a man who's not worthy of trust. You've publicly broken my trust. You've publicly backbiting and your duplicitous nature of kissing up to me here and then immediately off being a little bitch boy like Paul, gossiping and complaining, Moose. So no, I don't want to be like you. I want you to be better. Hey, Bryan.
O'Shea, you're muted or something. We can't hear you.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be in a bad mood, Jack. I'm not trying to get you in a bad mood or anything like that. It was just a question. I'm not hating on you or anything like that. I'm just saying, you know me. I always loved your show. I always loved everything between you and Paul. Even the argument sometimes. It was still good to watch because you both had different opinions, different things. But from my perspective, I see it from an outsider looking in that there is some issues, for example, that are going on in your life that are very sensitive. And when Paul touches on them, you get a little triggered and then you get in your state of mind. Now, I'm not saying also Paul sometimes doesn't do it on purpose to piss you off. Right. He's very bright. He may be doing it on purpose to piss you off.
He's very arrogant and disrespectful. He likes to take vulnerabilities of men and women and use it as a fucking weapon. So, yeah, You know what? I do or did have more sensitivity about my relationship with my son. I'm still
And I understand.
attached to the idea. And I don't need asshats like Paul telling the universe, yeah, it's no wonder his ex-wife and his son abandoned him. He's such a worthless piece of shit. I wouldn't listen to him either. That
doesn't
Paul
sound like
presented
shit talking to
me.
you, Tarek. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
When somebody attacks or someone else's relationship like that and says it's no wonder your wife left you, things like that, that doesn't seem hostile and shit talking to you. You think that
I think no. To answer your question, I think Paul is really good at doing bit not bit. So he's sugaring
Okay.
what's his name? Jack. And
Okay.
in the same time, he still means good. Doesn't mean he's not a bad guy. He's a
Why
bad
do you
guy.
assume that? Why do you? Well,
No,
go
you're
ahead,
not
Jack.
going to pull a moose and say he's just trying to trigger. There's truth in it, dude.
Hey, hold on just a
In what?
moment here. There's truth in what, Brian?
What Paul says about you, dude. And the work he does with you.
Always? There's always truth. He says nothing wrong, Brian.
No, I never said he's not 100%. I mean,
Okay,
everybody
well,
has.
Tarek. Hey, Tarek. How many times has Paul come back and said, "Oh shit, I was wrong"?
But he'll set the record straight. He'll tell you he did
No,
it, and he
he
set the record
won't,
straight.
Tarek. This is my experience. What you are saying about Paul Unslaved is untrue.
He's probably still
Now-
backstage. We can test it real quick.
Here,
I see them on the record setting some things straight, Jack.
Hey,
I swear to God.
Tarek, right. I know you're sitting up here making excuses. And one of the common excuses for Paul is content. Well, I've explained myself repeatedly. I am not on YouTube for Paul's fucking content and Paul's profit and Paul's rights, Paul's freedoms, Paul's properties. Fuck Paul.
Dude,
Okay.
2 hours from now, you're going to be on his show, like kissing his ass. I don't understand.
No, that is you.
As if it's possible to only stand for my rights, freedom, and property when it's all of ours, not just mine,
No,
dummy.
no,
You don't
Paul,
stand
hey.
for yours.
Hey,
I'm
Paul.
standing more for your shit than you.
Hey, Paul, you don't stand for shit. None of us stand for anything except in the moment. And while you get up on your pedestal and want to go on your little pissant tirade about how great you are and how worthless the rest of everyone else is, Paul, you are denying myself, Tarek, Flo, the right and freedom to enjoy ourselves with a conversation related to truth rather than your fucking arrogant impulses, Paul. Can you have a conversation at this time? Is it possible? An actual discussion like a man?
I don't know. You already said if I speak about your weaknesses, you're going to get emotional and triggered, like the bitch boy you called me, and then get controlling.
Oh, hey, dummy, that's what your monkey said. That's not what I said.
No, you said I have a habit of speaking about people's weaknesses, which then cause
Yeah.
consequences.
Yes, you use
So a man's
words.
defined by if you speak on
Hey,
his
Paul.
weaknesses, he gets emotional
Paul.
and triggered and creates consequences. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Right. And what is fascinating is right now you are demonstrating your inability to have a conversation like an adult.
I'm
Like a
responding to what you just said.
The question was asked, are you able? Your opinion, do you think it is within you to actually have an adult conversation without being so?
I wouldn't be here if I didn't, but you would have to then define the terms of your perspective of what an adult conversation is.
No, I don't need to explain.
Oh, so we
simple
just generally are
concepts.
supposed to all know what that
So
means.
here, Paul, you evaded the
Is Flo
question.
State talking? We can't hear him.
I don't care. I'm speaking to you, Paul, and I'm trying to get you to answer. Can you admit your ability? Are you able or not to participate, right? And allow a dialogue like a normal adult being?
Are we doing that now?
I've yet to see it from you. I've seen mockery and deflection. You were asked a question, and so please answer the question.
I already answered it. You asked it double
No, you have
time. I
not.
said yes by my apprehension, but you would have to define for clarification what the terms of an adult conversation is, so I could.
Your conditional agreement imposes standards upon me that were not agreed to, that was not negotiated. If you want to impose standards and create clear instruction for yourself, you're in the wrong fucking place. Go somewhere else, Paul.
Jack, can I say one thing?
If you feel you must.
No, just the one question. I mean, it's not. I'm not here to trigger you or like make you upset. Okay.
You told me
I
what
just
you're
want to.
not here to do. So, and what you claim to not be wanting to do is exactly what you keep doing. So, rather than focus on what you're not here to do, please clarify with both of us. What are you here to do?
Well, I thought after that argument that day when you, Paul, the Satanic Warrior, and London, that things were a little bit too sensitive. So I just want to share my opinion on it and let you know how I felt about it because you took it the wrong way. But my question to you is, Paul talks about his father, for example, in the open about his own family, like, that they have his own issue with him, whatever the case is, and he doesn't get upset about that. Like, why do you get so sensitive about your situation, which you're entitled to? I understand that. That's your kid, your family. You're entitled to keep it, like, out of the public. But Paul, for example, doesn't get mad if you talk about his father or his family.
Tarek, what is the point? What is your point?
Well, the point is, I feel like
comparisons that I see no relevance. I see no value. What is your? So what? You see Paul is better than me. Now what?
No, it's not about better. It's not about better. I know Paul. I know.
What is your fucking narrative for? Why am I listening? Why am I listening to this?
And you don't have to listen to it, Jack. I'm just telling you
what I don't have to do. I've asked you to explain your intentions. Okay. Be positive, please.
I'm very positive, Jack. I'm not. You see me. I don't get triggered. Nothing like that. All I'm saying to you. Okay. All I'm saying is, I feel like for the past 5-6 months, you and Paul, the sensitive situation has always been about that subject. So why can't you find a solution for it? It can't be that hard.
You don't know why?
I know why. It can't.
Tarek, whoa. Here, you asked why can't you find resolve? I said this before. There is no resolution with the disagreeable. Paul chooses to offer me disagreements. He refuses to humble himself and cooperate.
Tarek, what is your name? I think it's Tarek. Do you agree?
Yeah, Tarek or Tarek. Either way. Yeah. How you doing, buddy?
Same. Do you agree that Paul is unwilling to make peace with him? Do you agree with that assessment of his?
No, I think Paul will make peace with him, but I just think that there's just now.
What would cause Paul to create peace with me? What would cause Paul to offer me peace?
It's not about him offering you. You both have your own peace to invite. I mean, you both have your own peace.
Very good. You're right.
Received if he's not willing to offer fucking anything except disagreements. See, the only way peace is available with Paul is when you humble yourself to him.
Ooh.
Fuck Paul.
Damn.
Okay.
That's heavy.
Okay. Well, Jack, I'm not trying to get you mad here. I'm just trying to straight on the point. That's all.
You are humbling yourself very nicely, though. You're a good yes man.
See, again, you don't see me getting like triggered. You can say anything about that. You're entitled to. I don't get triggered. You're entitled to say your opinion. You're fine.
I'm allowing you a lot of time to promote your fanboy feelings of.
It's not a fanboy. I'm just trying to see what the situation is.
Have you ever thought about Paul while you masturbate? True answers only.
Oh God,
stop.
Don't.
Here, Tarek, if you have watched the interactions with Paul and I for this long,
have
you seen me really enjoying being attacked and being insulted by not just Paul, But
I know.
Paul uses his panel for anyone to come on and say anything they want. It doesn't have to be true. And so I've seen all sorts of people lying about Jack Talcott right in front of Paul's face in his creation, and it seems to be content. So Tarek, if you can't understand my experience, this is an opportunity for you to open your mind to different than what you used to believe. Okay. Because what I know for sure is that Paul and I, if you actually listen to what we're saying, we're preaching the same similar messages.
Yeah,
okay. Spirituality, consciousness. Paul says the words about we're all one. Look how
But he doesn't waver. You waver.
Ooh, what does that even mean? That's good.
Tarek.
I'm sorry.
Tarek.
He stands on one
Let me see
thing.
what
And
he
he doesn't,
means. Let me
Tarek,
understand what he
you
means
are
by he
in
wavers.
denial.
What does he waver? What does that mean? He
well,
wavers.
I'm saying, like, when he stands on something, he stands on it. He does not go left or right or try to please somebody.
Bullshit.
Okay.
So he's
I got you.
stubborn.
Bullshit. He contradicts himself constantly. He is duplicitous in what? Oh my God. Oh my God. This is
Jack, why are you getting so mad? I'm talking to you. I'm not Paul. I'm not trying. I'm just talking to you.
dude, the absolute, you say this thing as though it's true without example, without facts. You're convinced that Paul is just this fucking God of all media. Tarek, dude, I'm about done with you. I appreciate your
Relax,
time.
No
relax.
problem. I
You
don't want
guys
to
are
get you
doing
upset.
well. Relax, Jack. You
Yeah,
guys
it's
are
all
doing
good.
well. You guys are
I'm
doing
not trying
very
to get you
well.
upset.
He's not
I've got-
acting weird.
I've
He's
still
not
got
acting weird.
Paul.
He's just
Hey,
giving
Joe.
an opinion. Yeah.
Hey, Joe, I've still got Paul here.
Oh,
And another couple of Paul's loyalists here, I'm sure, to offer me how I'm wrong. So
this is funny.
Jack, I never said you were a bad person. I never said you're not good in some ways. I just think Paul sees it better than you do. That's all. That's just my opinion.
Tarek, Paul says I'm a bad person. Paul says I'm one not to be trusted. You're fucking fanboy against me.
Was
Paul,
was
welcome
this
back.
part of the adult conversation that Slow State said in chat shouldn't have to be explained to anyone? See, this is why I asked to have it explained, because you all are like broken children, and I want to know if you mean the same adult conversation I mean about truth and facts versus your two feelings.
Okay, so
In your defensive posture state as
What
always.
truth
Can
and
you
facts
get
should we
over the
talk about?
posture stance?
Is this an adult conversation? Asking
Let's
Tarek if he
engage with
masturbates to
me.
me, host
Hey,
day?
Paul.
Is that an adult conversation?
Holy fuck. Thanks
We could
for
have an adult conversation about how taxes work on voluntary contributions because somebody is confused about tax law.
Hey, Julian, welcome to the panel. Now, before you do something that will cause me to regret bringing you up here,
Get
Absolutely.
Just
No,
relax.
I'm playing.
well, I know you've brought
So-
many criticisms for me to entertain in the past, so I hope you're not just bringing more insults and
Hey, man, I'm actually here. I want to know, where do you think the loyalists are wrong? Explain to me all the problems that you have with Paul. Maybe I can get on a similar understanding with you. I doubt it, but I'm willing to give it the chance, right? I don't come up here very often. Usually I kind of just listen as I'm doing my own thing, as I'm going through work and every day. And yeah, I've been here listening to you a lot, listening to a lot of the other panel members you have up here. I'm just, help me understand where we're idolizing Paul and just beating the shit out of you for no reason. Help me
Can you ask him
understand.
to steel man it?
oh yeah, you can't steel man that. You can't find the answer for yourself. You can't play a
Apparently not.
hypothetical. Okay,
Walk
don't
me through
see-
it, step by
no,
step.
here, Julian, your ignorance and your confusion is not my problem.
Be nice.
Now, if you
True.
came to me and said, Jack, I understand what you're saying, but I see these things as contraindicators. So what am I missing? but you want to come here as though I'm wrong, as though the truth must be presented for you to fucking understand what you claim to pay attention to.
Yeah, I won't lie. It does seem that you're wrong on most parts to me, but I'm trying to
Julian,
to reach
Julian,
to you
Julian,
and get
hey,
it. Hold on,
Julian.
Joe. Hold on, Joe.
All
Hold on,
right,
Joe.
all right.
I'm trying to reach out to you where you clearly think like, oh, I'm just being so ignorant and arrogant of all these things. I'm reaching out and trying to take an opportunity to have it walked through step by step to show me why you think it's just abuse, why everybody's just lying about Jack, as opposed to just saying out loud the things we all see. Okay, I haven't lied about you at all. Have I made some assumptions? Sure, based on what I've seen of you here. So what am I missing, Jack? What are all of the panelists who go to Paul's channel missing? Can we reach some type of resolve? I don't know. Like, I would like to see you succeed. I'd like to see you succeed with Paul, as opposed to just having this fucking constant bashing.
Your fucking actions prove you are a liar in those words.
What actions?
The reason, you know what? Let me not exaggerate. I'll allow your words to be true. I didn't mean to offer disagreement.
Well, no. If I'm wrong, hold me accountable. I'm here for that. What do you like? If I'm wrong, show me, please.
Hey, I got a better,
Julian,
if I can, I got a better idea here, but because he called you a Paul loyalist, I'm assuming that you are. If you are sincere, I'd offer a test. You are very aware of Jack's shortcomings, and Paul's gonna, lose it for this. But you're a fan of Paul's. You've seen a lot of them. Where is he weak at?
What are some of Paul's weaknesses?
Yeah.
If I had
Be
to
nice.
point one out,
Be
it's
nice,
probably
yeah.
being able to meet somebody where they're at. If I
Very
had
good.
to.
All right.
But does
Well,
he
if
show
you
me
had
nearly as many as literally
I get
anybody
it.
else,
I get
myself
it.
included?
Wait. You offering one that freely, and it seems, it thought of and stuff. I was trying to see if you were blinded. You came too fast back. I would not assume that you're blinded. So you ain't got to explain that shit.
Really?
Was
yes.
that it?
I've asked
Oh,
other
Jack, how do
people
you
if
see it
they
differently?
can't find a
How do you see it
shortcoming in
All
differently?
Paul.
right.
Who couldn't
Joe,
find
you're-
who couldn't find one, Joe?
No, everybody I've asked never been
I
able
don't
to
know who
find
you've
a
asked.
shortcoming in Paul.
What?
Not one person. Yes, they
What?
don't. He doesn't have one apparently.
Oh, Julian doesn't. I got plenty.
See, Jack, this is why you shouldn't get mad at these people. Like, it's no point. It's like, are they?
It is
people? Are
unbelievable.
they
Well,
even real, man?
it is unbelievable that this cognitive dissonance that Julian, you don't see any flaws. Well, let me ask
He
I
gave
just pointed
one. He
one
gave
out.
a good one, and it was well thought
Immediately.
out. He did
See,
good.
Jack, you're
Joe.
blinded with your anger.
Bullshit.
You're
He
very
did. Say it
emotional
again.
about it.
What was the shortcoming? I forgot.
Julian.
Yeah.
Whoa,
He
whoa,
has a hard
whoa.
time meeting people where they're at if he's not able to just meet them on the level, because some people can't just get to, and I don't mean higher, I don't mean lower. I mean, some people are over here, some people are over there. But I've never met Paul personally.
I'm thinking he
I've
can't
only
meet
seen-
you at your level. I'm thinking dude spitting gospel right now.
Wow.
I'm thinking
Joe,
Paul can't meet
don't
you where
get-
you are.
Joe,
Don't get Jack angry. You won't be
You're
here. I need you
fucking-
here. So
dude,
Jack,
this is nuts.
again,
I
what's your
understood
biggest
Julian.
problem
I
with
don't.
any critique? What's your
Julian.
biggest problem with any critique, me personally, that I've ever given to you? What's the biggest problem with it? All I've tried to tell you in any
Hey,
comment I've left.
Julian, this is my biggest critique that I don't give a. I am so sick and
Praise God.
tired.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, I tried offering a response there. Did you guys not see that? I tried offering a response to what Julian was saying. Joe, you just got so excited about how right he was, you didn't want to fucking hear what I had to say. And then Julian goes on to repeat himself once again.
Yeah.
So more of our time is wasted due to egoic impulses prior to even bothering to understand what is real, what is going on, what was said.
Yeah.
So what I heard Julian say is, if I'm pressed to find something.
Okay, I heard all those things too. And then he said, what was Paul's shortcoming?
that he fails to meet people at their level. So Paul's
Where they
apparently up at this level,
Yes.
and sometimes he doesn't come down and talk to people.
So do
like
you
they
agree with what
do.
he said?
Joe, number one, if he has to press himself to find a flaw in Paul, are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not sure if that's a yes or no to my question. I'll entertain that in a second. Do you agree that Paul has the inability to meet people
Yes,
where they are?
yes, that is one of his many flaws.
All right, so you do agree.
Yes.
All right. Well, you were shaking your head, yeah, like you
Joe,
thought the man was lying.
hey, Joe, he minimized as though that is the extent of Paul, that the only thing Paul does wrong is he doesn't come down off of his fucking pedestal, his high horse, and talk to a lowly infidel at their level. Now,
I
that's
cut him
one
off
of
because
many.
I asked the question for a reason to learn something about him, and he answered my question. I didn't need 8 things about Paul. I was just wondering if the man even was open-minded.
Joe,
He answered it immediately.
Joe, hey, Joe, I understand what's going on. Please don't be defensive. Please
I didn't realize I was
understand what
being
I'm
defensive. I'm trying to
doing.
explain myself. I'm not
I
making
know.
ad homs or anything here.
Instead of understanding me and what you're,
Instead
what
of
the
agreeing
topic,
with you is what you
oh
mean.
my God. Is there a difference? Right. You're never going to
Yes,
fucking
there is a
understand me
difference.
if you don't agree. If you don't agree that the words are relevant and worthy of fucking understanding, you're not going to.
No, you come with better words. You try harder, nigga. I do it every day. You can't just say what you say, Joe.
He was being reasonable.
Confusion and
He was
your
being reasonable.
bitterness. What's that?
He was not being unreasonable.
Joe?
Yeah.
His confusion and his bitterness is not my problem to resolve. I'm willing to help. I'm willing to help him understand what is going on and why he's getting all defensive. But if he wants to just fucking take over the conversation. So again, I've been trying to respond to what was said a long time ago by Julian. The question was asked to me, what have I seen wrong with Paul? And this is fucking, I'm dumbfounded that even has to be answered.
It's a disingenuous
by someone.
question. I don't know why you're answering it. I don't believe it's sincere at all.
I don't either. That's the thing. That's the thing. And
you can't squeeze sincerity out of an insincere person, no matter how much sincerity you throw at it.
Well, damn it, Flo, thank you. Sincerity is a word that I was considering earlier today. Words by Paramahansa Yogananda. He was talking about living a sincere and thoughtful life. Excuse me. That was actually the lesson of today. And sincerity, I still don't really have a firm inside myself of what that may mean expressed through action, but the topic was sincerity.
If somebody's asking a question that they know the answer to just to see you spin your wheels, that's insincere, obviously.
Thank you. And it's actually thoughtless. It's without thought or care for the other person.
Well, it's tactical. They're not trying to get understanding. They just want the burden to be replaced onto you.
That's very true. So this is the reality, though, Flo. I've got some good people here in the back.
You should let Joe back up. I didn't hear the whole thing. I was on a different tab and I was zoning out, but welcome back.
Thank you.
Well, I'd like to bring several people back. I mean, if Julian here,
Jack, dude, anytime you're a child here, dude. You just can't.
Okay, so see, what is this? What is this? Holy cows. You want to try again, Julian?
Yes, I would. Now that I have the rules understood, I can't bring any type of dissenting information your way. Otherwise, it's cutting the tongue out.
Is that the narrative you want? That's the narrative you want?
No, that's the reality that you're showing. What are you talking about?
Is it? So there's no
Hold
other
on.
there's no other explanations, huh? You fucking clown. So see here, Julian, to answer your question, what is it that you don't like about Paul? His arrogance. Hey, Julian, what do I not like about you today on my panel? Your arrogance.
I'm not sure that was his question.
I don't care.
Oh, I thought you was interrupting us to answer his question. I thought you.
Well, his question was, what do I have disagreements with what Paul says?
He
Had
said
you
something
not-
about the followers. He posed that question strangely. He said something about followers in there, which is why I didn't chase that question. He said Paul's followers and Paul. It was weird, I thought. So I don't know.
I see a dysfunctional group. It is a form of a community there. And it is a bunch of people that find time insulting their fellow humans, complaining about things they don't know, and offering advice when it's like,
It's not wanted.
you don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Okay, so a common egoic trait we all pick up because we do want to help each other is
Yeah.
we're real quick and free with our advice.
Agreed.
But if you don't think through your thoughts, all you're doing is throwing an opinion out there and telling yourself you did good. You're lying to yourself. We've got to stop lying to ourselves. And actually, if we want to give someone some advice, follow through and make sure that they can follow through with the advice you believe is helpful. We can all do that for ourselves, for each other, in the families, in the communities. I don't know, man. I've got these guys in the back. I've got a lot of admiration for Paul, but the man offers no respect. And I respect myself enough to keep disrespectful people out of my life.
And that exactly is the problem with the flock, right? At least from my perspective, is that they don't respect themselves enough to not be kowtowed like that and betray themselves. And if you're going to betray yourself, you sure as shit will betray anybody else. And that's the issue with OTW. OTW never did anything to me, but when I saw him sell himself out like that, it's like, man, I can't be
like
anything to do with this person.
There's been a lot of that. It's happening not just here on YouTube, though, in our communities. People
following that sheep mentality, following the leader bullshit. So I think.
Hey, Rob, I'm sure you're quoting me. Paul offers me nothing. What do you think I've received besides? I know I've received a lot of insults. I know I've been the butt of a lot of jokes and a lot of entertainment, whether or not I'm there. I know that I've been insulted and disrespected by people who don't fucking know me, who's never actually picked up the phone to have a conversation with me. And yet, like Moose, wants to run around here as though he's some sort of credibility author. He knows me because he worked with me. And then he wants to run around to impress Daddy Paul. Hey, Julian, your little games can take off, buddy. Have a good night. So
you liberally named a bunch of shit that Paul does, and I couldn't argue against him. I see you being made of a lot on the show, in my opinion, and certainly in chat, people feel free to just jump in and criticize you. All right, acknowledging all of that. Are you blind? Can you see the other side? Has Paul done good? I posed to you the same when I did to Julian. What has Paul done good? You see, Julian answered like that. That's why I immediately lost interest in him. You fucking got my interest with that
But
fucking
Joe,
fourth.
you're not starting from the same spot.
Oh, go ahead, Flo. What you mean?
I mean that's all I had to say.
I'm not sure I understand. Can you like?
Right, I phrased it poorly. The it's not a priori. All else is not equal in the.
Oh, I would agree. I
agree,
and I know that when I'm posing it to them, they are not exactly the same. They are definitely different. But I'll get the same. I get what I need from it as long as he paused. It was the same fucking test. It wasn't exactly, but you get what I'm saying. He immediately came up with a shortcoming of
well,
pause.
He just said he respected lots of things about him before being prompted.
Just this one thing alone, I think, is all I'm judging on. He immediately came up with a shortcoming. Most people can't do that. When I asked him for something positive, he couldn't come up with it immediately, which makes me think, oh, he might be one-sided. That's exactly where my mind was going.
If I were in the middle of being pissed off about something, I would be like, fuck you. I'm not saying nothing positive.
Very good. That could be what's happening here, too. You're damn right. Yeah.
I see what you're doing, and I don't know that I don't have a disagreement with it. I just, Jack, have I bought you enough space to
come on
blood pressure?
I've still got.
I think it's stupid.
You know, here's the thing.
He's got to deflect, and I'm gonna be more curious. I'm just saying, sure, good things of Paul. Please.
I've said, Joe, fuck off.
You see
dude.
that? You see that?
Dude,
what does that tell me?
Off. It tells you you're an ignorant clown who expects me to jump through your hoops. And I'm fed up with your challenges for me too, Joe, okay? I have repeatedly said, and even on this panel, I've talked about my admiration for Paul. So piss off with this, Joe. And you know what? I'm going to bring Paul up, but my patience is limited. I'd rather talk about spirituality, about consciousness, about ways we can work together to help protect rights, freedoms, and fuck property, Paul, you fucking materialist.
Right. So why don't you give up the property you're in?
Right.
Why don't you give up the property you're in then?
Why should I?
Because you just
kiss my ass, Paul. Paul cares more about property than people. He doesn't give a shit about his own father. How disrespectful, arrogant. What a piece of crap like that. I don't care. Family is important. I see a lot of people, you know, people do open up to me because I'm an honest man and I share what is going on in my life. I'm actively seeking to restore my relationships. And I see a lot of people in the same boat, broken relationships, but they don't care. They just don't care about their relationships, don't care about the blessings they've got in their lives. Like here, Paul and I are living very similar lives. No job other than doing this. We speak about rights, freedoms, consciousness. You know, I talk about God. Paul talks about himself. Joe, you notice that contradiction?
I did.
You notice Paul talks about himself. I talk about God a lot.
That's my biggest complaint with Paul is his ego. Yeah.
Well, so why should I be subjected to interrogation about why I don't want to continue being insulted and disrespected by a man who only talks about himself?
I don't know.
I mean, that's what we're dealing with Julian and you, Joe.
No, I wouldn't question it. I think it's hilarious the way you constantly loop with him. It's fucking funny as fuck to me. I don't question you're a grown man. You do what you're gonna do. I do all have advice, and I would say you can't make a nigga just be patient and don't take it so serious. But what's gonna happen is gonna happen, man. If you keep Paul back, I think it's wise. He gets you very upset. Do what you're gonna do. Be you.
I'd love to see Paul learn how to cooperate just for a day.
You and Flow State just admitted that when you get emotional, which is whenever you hear stuff you don't like that you don't think is true.
You said. That's
why are you interrupting me?
Because you're already.
I'm not allowed to speak at all. Okay.
You can speak, but what is
you'll
your
interrupt me and throw me out because you're playing power games again.
No, Paul. I've told you before. I am sick and tired of the bullshit you bring to me.
Right, you're sick and tired of a lot of things.
Right, and Paul, yesterday on your stream, you said clearly you don't give a fuck about Zetetic Warrior. You don't give a fuck about Jack Talcott. You don't give a shit about anyone who comes to your stream. So, Paul, I do. Take a hike, Paul.
Well, since it's quiet, I would give this advice, and you're very hot. I should not even tread right now. It's true. Flo, you pointed that out to me. I underestimated how Paul beats up on him. I see that now and how he feels about it, whatever. But you gotta find a way. If you're gonna keep allowing him up here, I understand for your sanity, you don't allow certain people up here at certain times. But if it's gonna work, you're gonna allow him up here. You gotta change. Stop expecting him to change. It looks funny to people like me.
Whoa, bullshit, Joe.
Yeah.
How do I change?
I was gonna tell you. You didn't have to interrupt me.
No, hold on, Joe. You're placing the expectation on me. I encourage you to have a conversation with Paul that if he wants to continue,
I would tell him the same thing.
I think you're both right. You're both right. Just let him finish because I think he knew where he's going.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to interrupt, Joe.
Yeah, thanks. I forgot my shit. Now I was listening to your ass.
If you wanted to work with Paul, you have to.
Oh yes.
Why?
You cannot control another person, right? You try blah blah blah. The only thing you control is yourself. And if you're gonna keep bringing them up here, you have to find a peaceful way to do it. You got to find a way to let it go and cut all the anger bullshit out.
Okay, Joe. I've tried many things. If you haven't noticed, over the past months of putting up with this bullshit, I've tried many things, including, ignoring the past, just starting over. I've tried allowing him no accountability, no responsibility.
You're preaching to the choir. You're preaching to the choir. Joe, I have no intention of making peace with this man.
Right,
seems like an insurmountable task to me,
Joe. Right. Yeah. So I should not bring him then because I have no control.
Make your own decision. I control myself. I put the pressure on myself. That's my nature.
Joe,
I would not be a victim. I would not let him trigger me ever. I'd feel like a loser if I did. That's me.
That's beyond me. In your vehicle.
Joe, I'm not you. So let's come back to what is real.
Oh, be nice. Don't do ad homs. I'm being serious here.
Well, you want to present yourself as though I'm just such a little bitch. I should be a little bitch because I got triggered by Paul.
I don't think he's saying that you're in the wrong. I certainly don't think that he's saying you're in the wrong. I think he's saying that he's observing that you have a few things under your control. And one of them is not somebody else's behavior. That's just a statement of fact. It's not a judgment of behavior.
Yes. The only thing left is you. I go after me. That's all I'm trying to say. And personally, if I couldn't do it, I'd leave him down. That's why I don't judge you. If he fucking got under my skin, I wouldn't even have my room. That nigga would have been blocked months ago. That's just me. But
me too.
All right. Thank you, Joe. The thing is just like, Tarek wants to bitch like a little schoolgirl about what Paulie heard from Z and me. The panel was all mean to Daddy Paulie. Fuck, dear. So, what the Zetetic Warrior and I actually discussed on that panel is the fact that it seems pretty obvious. Paul's got within him some unresolved abandonment issues, which creates his nature of distrust. And so the easiest way to deal with distrust, rather than accepting responsibility, it's to push everyone away. And so he's pushed away. He keeps his father pushed away. He's pushed Z away. He's pushed me away. Everyone else has encouraged me to give up to him, to give up on him, or to bow the knee and kiss his ass like everyone else. And I will not enable his egoic nonsense.
Yeah.
I'm for the first one.
I know.
Give the fuck up.
Well, this was the consensus on the panel yesterday. And actually earlier today, I was with London and Z. sounds like that is the direction they're going. They're done with the kid. So
Again, this is not a shot at you. I am the nigga that most hanging on nigga you know. Me and you could literally have a fist fight when you wake up in the morning. I got 2 cups of coffee, one for me, one for you. Right? I do not do the let go thing easily. I don't give a fuck if you're a racist, so and so. It doesn't bother me, so I can come around you every fucking day. I don't let people go. But I hear you cats, y'all.
well, if someone won't change, because what you're saying is true.
I change me. I become
Well,
peaceful. It's a test.
I've tried and I have grown. You know what?
Agreed.
And this is another thing. I've
Agreed.
grown and Paul has tested me. I've thanked him. I've thanked
Very
him and
good.
Wizard for the tests they've offered me and for the growth I've found within me.
All right.
There comes a point, though, where it's not worth my time. My lessons have been learned. I received the value from Paul I needed a long time ago, as far as the common law and the
It's
and the government
toxic
stuff.
now. It is really
yeah.
fucking toxic. When I walked in, I was like, is this where I left off last time I was here? I knew what to expect. And I was probably laughing my ass off because sure enough, you yell, blah, blah, blah. Y'all do the dance back and forth, and it's entertaining as fuck.
Atlas pushing that boulder or holding up the world for till the end of time.
Moose was speaking up in defense of Joe in the back, and I don't mean any disrespect. I really don't. I'm a man. I like being able to look at myself with respect, and so I don't like offering disrespect to others.
Very good.
And you should be able to ask for respect and have that honored. There's absolutely nothing.
That's a judgment to me. Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
so
you
to say
brought me
that
back.
like,
Can I
I'm
say
only
one thing?
disrespecting you for your own good, that's a complete gaslighting and excuse.
Thank you. I agree 1,000%. Yes. Thank you. That should be obvious. Yes.
Should be obvious.
It's just so
Jack.
something. Yeah.
Hey, when I came in here, I was lighthearted. We were having fun. I wasn't.
You're the one who asked the question. Pull it straight here.
Flo.
What?
Let him
I'm
let
talking,
him finish.
bro. Have
please.
a little
Let him-
respect. I'll listen to
I
you.
don't for you though. Go ahead.
I'm just saying. I came in here. I was having a little fun. I explicitly said Tarek's comment. You know, I said it because it was going to trigger you. I knew it was. So I said it because you would take it out on me instead of him, right? Because I wanted to see where the conversation went. I'm actually curious because this has been going on for so long. I feel like you want nothing more than to be in the same room as Paul, just be respected by Paul, and just do your thing with Paul.
Yeah.
And I
won't let it.
I don't have
He won't
anything
allow
to
it.
do with
Paul
this.
won't allow it.
So
Right.
all I'm asking is don't take other people's stuff out on me. Like if I say something smart ass, take it out on me.
I like it, bro.
But
I like it.
I'm standing on my own here.
You're
I go
getting extra
everywhere on
jerk
my own
shit.
now.
You're being a jerk, but you're giving me extra jerk shit because you hate them niggas. I think that's what he said.
No, but I'm just saying Joe Cools is here supporting you, brother. And I thought I was trying to just turn the vibe back around to your lighthearted self. That's all I was doing. And I yield.
I appreciate that. But so I'm back to where I was. I don't know what to do. You know, my hope, brothers and sisters, is with or without the distraction of Paul Unslaved. I do hope to grow either on here on YouTube or brothers and sisters, if you know somebody in real life who might want to help, find a way. I'd much rather get the hell off of YouTube and start taking steps in action.
I misheard you.
Was
I thought you were talking about somebody that will help you resolve your relationship with Paul.
I thought, yeah.
Okay.
Me too.
Fuck. You know, actually, well, I've said this before. I admire a lot of you guys. Okay. I've been clear about my love and respect for Paul. And I hope
you've been clear about your hatred for that nigga too. So I'm unsure. I'm left unsure.
Joe, it's not hatred, it's absolute disappointment.
Very good.
It's absolute frustration over his disagreeableness, his unreasonable, his behavior has been unacceptable. And the fact that it's not just me who's telling him, But then he's got these little monkeys around that fly around with him. And, oh, Paul, Daddy Paul. Oh, Daddy Paul. Oh, here's something insulting about Jack. Oh, here's something insulting about Z. Oh, here's something insulting about Flo. You know, just to...
Here's something insulting about me. They do that shit too.
They insult me every day too, dude. But the thing is that I've learned, and I'm not telling you to do it, but what it's done to me is it's made me think about myself. I've been working on myself, Jack. I'm talking about myself, not you. I'm actually working on my own spiritual walk and stuff like that. But it hurts. It does hurt. It hurts to have people talk to you like that. It hurts to have the crowd against you all the time. It does hurt, man. But check it out, man. I am trying to grow from it and trying to figure out myself how I can not let that affect me. Other people affecting me. And that's not your job. I'm not saying that you have to do anything. I'm just saying for me.
Moose, you have been such a bootlicker for Paul. Fine, dude.
I've also talked back against him too. I've also told him how I felt.
No,
yes, I have.
Moose,
there's 45 minutes where I yelled at him.
I know. You're such a big bad
See,
man.
and here you go. Here you go in.
Paul one time, Moose. The fact that you want to present yourself today as such a man to be admired because you're doing such great work inside, and Daddy Paul has offered me so much. I've learned so much from Daddy Paul. Moose, you've proven to me that you have very little regard for the truth, just like Paul. Because you can't claim to care about the truth when you don't care about what is true in another.
Oh, wait. I was going to interrupt you to ask you to explain that. And by keeping my mouth closed, you can explain the end of that shit. I was going to,
Joe, it's something I realized a long time ago. My frustration and my judgment kept me from understanding people. Right? Even though
it does now. That's your defining characteristic. Your frustration keeps you from understanding people.
Today, I understand.
It's a real thing.
I understand people better than they understand themselves. And I'm not trying to force anyone to change. I am asking people to look at themselves, look at what I'm saying.
Right. You are voiceless because of the situation in. Even if you have a good point, it'll never be heard. Except for me and this dude, you know, we don't give a fuck. But if someone's invested in this, they'll never hear you say a good thing.
That's until they're told that they're allowed to, right?
Yes.
Oh, we'll see.
When directed so, they will do it. Then give you props. Yes.
There is something to that. Paul has softened his. I think I have earned some respect in Paul's eyes. I think he does.
You've enforced some boundaries.
Over time, we've got
many of them, but some.
That's a good thing, right?
Right.
If you do that day one, it avoids these situations entirely. I'm just saying it's a great thing to be picky about your fucking boundaries. Don't be gay. But if you think a nigga disrespect you day one, I won't be 3 months in and say, I feel like you've been disrespecting me. He'd have known that day one, right? And it stops all this nonsense from down the line. If you understand what I'm saying, voice your opinion immediately. It makes life easier.
It does. It's like pretending to be rich on a first date, but you're not rich. But now this chick's your girlfriend and she thinks you're rich and you're trying to keep up that bullshit. Same sort of principle.
I understand the value of a first impression. However, see, this is where I've been frustrated because since day one of the introduction to Paul and his platform, it was attacks and insults. And so from day one, I was never really allowed to present me for the goodness of me. And then people have built into their mindset. They hear Paul talk shit about all these things of me, whether they know
you
me
were
or
never
not.
given an opportunity, is what you're saying, to present yourself properly.
Well,
hey, I'm sorry to interrupt, but just so you know how I think, I immediately turn that shit on me. I give
Sure.
no other
Yep.
outs except
Yep.
what do I do, blah, 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 right? That's the way
Sure.
I think, right?
Joe, absolutely. I understand that. And I've evaluated my past. I've reviewed my presentation. I've been developing and growing in myself. Doesn't change.
Oh, no, I wasn't saying
Okay.
that you were inadequate. I'm saying I'm giving you that you were not given a chance. I'm giving you that. I'm not saying it's your fault. I am giving you that they never gave you a square chance. So now I think, what can I do to take it? If that's something I want, I'm going to take it.
Well,
Let me come
that's
at it
what
from
I've
a
been
different angle.
Mhm.
This,
That's it's
hey,
like that.
guys,
Instantly, I think like that.
here's the part of my life that is what I got to deal with. This is where I'm at in pretty much almost every relationship. People have come to a conclusion. Then they've been real resistant, unwilling to allow a
You
chance
yeah.
for me to be me.
I can see that being your story. That would account for the sensitivity that I see. Yes. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Joe. Thank you. I try not to do this, but seriously, I can laugh at my life. I've said, my life is a joke. I said it on Paul's stream, and then everyone, maybe that was a mistake because I was honest about the fact that everyone in my life has treated me and my life like it's a joke.
It's probably
know
was
why.
a mistake, right? Once you entered that room and you saw that they were had preconceived notions about you, your steps must be wise now. One thing you cannot do is add to the mocking. It was a mistake in that sense, right?
Mhm. Don't add to the mocking that Paul so freely fucking offers. I didn't encourage him to go out of his way and mock me and take my videos and play them at slow speeds to laugh at me and make Jack into some joke. I didn't encourage him to do that.
No, I would agree. That's a trait in him. When he has a disagreement with the person, he goes at him really quick, right? So I would agree that's you and him have a lot of disagreements. You've been mocked a lot. I know if me and him bump heads, I get called names. It's a real thing.
Well, and now I'm at this point.
I've never heard him do that. That's crazy.
We don't bump heads at time, but when I challenge him, oh, you have heard. You're being sarcastic.
Yes. Whether or not he's mad at somebody, he's calling him names.
Certainly, me and him, we get along well, blah, blah, blah. But when I challenge him, I'm going to end up being called something really fucked up, yo.
But hold on. Can I say something before we move off of the people's perspectives point? Fuck, where to go? Okay, it's back. Joe, you said you flip an objective or a perspective around on yourself.
Yeah.
What am I doing wrong? And Jack was saying that he thinks people are perceiving him wrong.
Yes.
And ultimately I see a flaw in self-perception is deceptive, right? Nobody can see themselves. Really, every person has a different version of you. There is no right version of you because everybody's got individual perception.
Including yours.
Including yours, right? So you can never see yourself accurately.
Yeah.
They can never see you accurately, and you can't control them.
We agree.
But what I think everybody can agree on is that if you ask for somebody to stop disrespecting you,
yes,
they should stop disrespecting you.
Yes. Once, if it's real, if it's perceived like someone says, Joe, every time you say nigga, I feel it's disrespectful. I got a motherfucker who has a channel and be like, yeah, motherfucker, I'm gonna get you. You know I don't like that word. He perceives as disrespect. You're not even in the room. No way it's disrespectful, and it's certainly not disrespectful to you. So I would not stop because he perceives it as disrespect in that fucking instance. But I totally get what you're saying. If it's really, really disrespectful, a man should know, and a man wouldn't do it. Have I ever called you a name? Have I called you a name?
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
And I don't think I've ever called you.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't think I've called. I mean, maybe I have, but
hey, we're coming up on 2 hours. I'm not feeling like making this a marathon. We've still got.
It was great.
We got Tarek and Paul patiently waiting.
I'm down.
Patiently waiting.
I'm down.
You know that song? Who sings "Patiently Waiting"? Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
I barely remember Tarek because I'm really high.
here's guys, let's come before I bring these two gentlemen back. I'd like to discuss the word respect. Okay. Because this is one where people like to think respect is earned before it's given, right? You got to be worthy of respect. Well, this has been Paul's excuse for disrespecting me.
That's incorrect.
Hold on, Joe. Rather than disagree, okay, note your disagreement. Let me explain why I see this as a problem. Paul has imagined standards for me and others, and then he wants to make sure that no one is better than him. So the standards are in his head, constantly moving the goalpost. But his imagined standards are not my problem. Okay.
Agreed.
And all of this, we only live right now. So the only thing that matters is how we interact and how we treat one another. Because Paul using his imagined conflicts from my ex-wife or other people does not give him the right or reason to disrespect me today. But this is what I've been experiencing.
But if you're driving down the street and the guy has a Mack truck, I can come up with a million reasons why it's unfair that I got to go around him or whatever, blah, blah. But I still got to accomplish the goal. I can acknowledge that Paul has all these shortcomings, blah, blah, blah. It would not stop whatever my goal is, right? You can explain to me Paul's shortcomings for the rest of the fucking night. It won't change nothing.
So let's bring the relevance in. Okay. And the relevance is, what do I talk about a lot? I talk about God. I want to discuss maybe spirituality, consciousness, maybe ways to create a better world for everyone. These are the things I want to discuss about, but instead,
those are the things we do discuss when there's certain ones of us up here. You know, when there's certain energy up here, that's what we accomplish. Yes.
Correct. But unfortunately, while I believe Paul and I separately have a lot to offer because of his choices, his disagreeable patterns, I feel our time has been wasted. And as far as that,
you're right, your time's been wasted. It'll be wasted 10 more times before we get off tonight.
If I want to end wars in the greater scope, if I believe that we can find ways to end slavery and oppression, well, then why should I waste my time day after day spending time on Paul's platform where I'm not respected? I'm not appreciated over there by any fucking stretch of the word.
Okay.
At least I don't feel appreciated based on the evidence and insults I receive. But so if I've got greater goals of helping others, why should I waste time with someone who wants to make sure
I can give an
argument?
It's not necessarily mine, but I can just give an argument that pops in my head immediately. If you can't find peace between you and Paul and these other panelists, how can you find peace in the world? It's just the obvious argument.
Is it? That is.
It is.
Hey, Joe. Joe, you're right. It is an argument. And
that's all
I'm saying. I've offered this. What if it is a possibility? What if all of this has been and continuing to be preparation?
Very good. For you to get where you're going. It's good practice. It seems logical.
Well, I still have my goals of trying to present myself to those who have accused me.
Whoa. I don't know about that one. That's like a nigga asking for closure from a woman. I can't condone that shit, bro. They gonna do what they're gonna do. Fuck them niggas. If it happens.
But hey, Joe, I appreciate respect. You can have your objection, but unfortunately, doesn't change my reality. Okay.
Agreed. Yes.
Because personally, I know that there are a lot of people, citizens today, who have been wrongfully persecuted, right? Accused, innocent people sitting in jail right now.
Yes.
My path has been similar, but quite different. I've kept my freedom, so to say. But the accusations and the
Do
shit
you agree?
that I went through is legitimate.
Do you agree that if they continue to hold those positions after trying everything you can, that you must let it go and find your peace? You agree?
Well, Joe,
Your peace can't be dependent upon another
hey,
person.
Joe, my goal is a conversation with people involved, nothing more. Now, the
Yeah, so
people
you're saying you're
involved,
not going to be
hey,
happy till
Joe,
you get that conversation?
well, of course not. This is my fucking life.
Sorry.
Joe, the people I'm talking about are my ex-wife, my son,
You're more important, bro.
my
I'm sorry.
friends that I dedicated 3 decades over. We were friends over 30 years, and these men threw me away. And I'd like to fucking know why. Serious. I would like to know why.
I get you, baby.
So you could act like you did here all broadcast?
Would that work to my benefit, do you think? Is that a logical assumption?
What's the point of anyone telling you what we've all told you over and over when you're just going to react to it the way you have?
Right. You repeat and you loop and you don't offer me anything new.
You're going to tell them that too?
No, I'll tell them what I know. And I will get to know them as they get to know me, but I would like to know what happened. So, Paul, I know you don't care to know what happened. You just like to imagine you know. And here, one of my complaints of Paul, how often does he ever say, I am wrong, or I was, or I don't know? Does Paul ever say, I don't know? He does. He's very good about his rhetoric, creates a lot of plausible deniability, right? I might be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, he's good at that.
What are you
I
going to
give
do
that
when
to him.
you are?
Yeah, he is, but hey, that's part of his intelligence. That's how intelligent he is.
Where did your clothes go, sir?
I'm sorry. He's smart. He's not going to put himself under the bus. And if he's wrong, he's wrong.
Tarek.
Hey, Tarek, is he humble?
Ego.
Tarek, is he humble? That's an attribute.
He's very humble, I think.
For it too.
I think he's very humble. I just think his method
okay.
sometimes towards towards Jack, for some reason, Jack takes it a little bit.
Wait. I'll let that go by me. Paul is humble. You get that from Paul?
I think Paul's very humble.
Then
you know how many people hate on Paul every day?
What?
Where?
No,
Where?
that's not true. See,
who has Paul
Paul
humbled
reminds you that he is a god. That is his
English
stick.
is not his first language. What do you think humble means?
But that's just the notion. That's just that narrative that he has, so he can get his word out there. He puts himself out there as not
Tarek. There's a reason this.
I'm listening. Go ahead, Jack.
There's a reason this question is being asked to you. It's to determine your level of awareness.
Exactly.
Your
it was
level of honesty.
Yes, it was.
Okay. So if you honestly believe that Paul demonstrates humility, maybe you can offer, because I disagree with that from experience. So my direct experience completely disagrees. So please help me understand you. How does Paul show you humility?
He shows it in a lot of ways, I think.
Baby, I love the Pauls. I'm an addict for the
Hold on. Let me explain how. Let me explain how. Let me speak. You guys, a lot of people are hating on him every day. So he's got to put up with all that bullshit. And he's got to put up a lot with people that are not knowledgeable of what's going on. And he's also helped a lot of people. I think.
Okay. But all right. So you think he's himself by helping? There's people who have found help within themselves from the experience with Paul, right? Paul beats him up. They go within and they look and they say, oh shit, this asshole was actually right. So they find the strength within themselves to become stronger and better.
And I encourage Paul's best argument. That's a damn good one.
Should we read the definition of humble real quick? And then
we may need to.
Okay. Marked by meekness or modesty in behavior, attitude, or spirit, not arrogant or prideful, showing deferential or submissive respect, low in rank, quality, or station, unpretentious.
Any of that apply to Paul, bro? Even a little bit? No.
Joe, I have watched literally every show for Paul for almost a year and Jax. I just feel bad that they're in this situation. And again, I feel like Jack feels like he's under Paul for some reason. And I think Jack knows he's up there in knowledge, and it bothers Jack in some ways, and then they get into it.
Do you think, and is this what you're saying, that you think Jack feels himself intelligent, and so do I, that Jack doesn't get the same ear or acceptance that Paul gets? You think there's jealousy or something there?
No, nothing jealousy. I think it's more of something with himself. Jack, something's bothering him. Like, if you don't want Paul to bring up your family, just don't bring it up, period, then. Don't talk about it.
Right.
But if you have been on a show, I know. But,
okay.
Go ahead, I'm listening. I'm waiting.
Well, you're telling me don't bring this up, don't do this, assuming I'm responsible for. Here's what I don't
see where you're
understand.
going with that. I see you ran out of words, but it was a good thought. I saw that.
No, I waited until he's done. I don't want to disrespect him. Go ahead.
Tarek,
I was talking to Jack. Jack was on to something. I think he lost.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you continued. Go ahead. I apologize.
I'd like to come back to something you said. You said, Paul, when you were asked, more about being humble, and we had a definition here. Frankly, I do not see Paul meeting those definitions whatsoever. But
hey, Tarek, can I go one step further? Tarek, if you disagree with this, I will and have judged you as, not fair-minded. I'm just saying, that was obvious. If you can't see that, and I believe you see it, you just don't want to admit it. Yeah.
No. It's not about admitting anything here. I'm here just to ask a question for Jack, and whatever goes on between him and Paul, it's between him and Paul. All I'm saying to you is, I said one thing I see from Paul. He just stands on something. He doesn't go back and forth. Now, when Jack the other day, when him and the Satanic Warrior and everybody got on the show, Steve was saying really bad things about Paul, nasty things, and Jack said he agreed with him. That was not good.
No,
a man of God would not agree with that.
Do you disagree with them?
Tarek,
I don't agree with the Satanic Warrior or with it.
You don't think that Paul projects his daddy issues onto everybody else by wanting to be called daddy?
Ooh, he put it in like 6 words.
That's okay. I think you want my opinion on it. I think Paul is very smart with those, names and things that he brings up. That's just his way of being out there in the public and stuff like that. But is that his real demeanor? I don't think so. I think he means well.
Hey, Tarek, I want to believe that as well. However, a man who wants to do well but is stubborn when wrong, fixed. You're right. He comes on strong and fixed. Damn, the world be damned. But he doesn't care when he's wrong. And so, Tarek, you found disappointment, hurt, whatever, from the words you heard shared over on London's panel. Our words were truthful, honest, authentic, without.
Can you guys give me, I didn't see the panel, can you give me something, Tarek, that you said, that you think Jack said that was wrong?
About to say, like that. You mean about yesterday's show when they were talking about Paul and stuff?
Whatever show you're talking
about. They were saying a lot. They were saying a lot of things. They were saying, a lot of.
What specifically?
I saw some of that. What specific did you have a beef with? What was he, Jack?
Joe, did you watch the show?
I just saw a clip somewhere. Maybe I was with Paul or something. I just saw a clip. I didn't see the show.
Guys, tell you what.
Yeah, I mean, go on and watch the show.
Sorry.
Well, you're the one who's saying that he was saying things he shouldn't have. So what?
Right.
What
it should be easy to name 3.
You're the one bringing the claim. You're the one bringing the claim against me, accusing me of speaking poorly of your daddy.
While
so
naked.
What is your claim against me?
Okay, the claim against you was that you and the Satanic Warrior and the London bitch and Steve
repeating your opinion without any specificity, right? You
guys were saying Paul is stupid. Okay, hold on. Let me speak like
that was it. He was just finally giving examples of what he said that was wrong. That he disagreed.
I think he's just making up insults because I was there for part of it, and that was like Paul's stupid. Nobody said that.
Very good.
No one was demeaning Paul's intelligence.
Very good. Very
insulting him, his intentions. Well,
from the clips I saw, they were just giving opinions. Paul may or may not agree with them, but they were not just calling them names and shit.
Right.
No, and it wasn't just to, I can't speak for the others. As I said, before going over to that other panel, I showed up to Paul's. I knew the other panel was going on, and I fit right in with those people who were disappointed by this prick. So I didn't go straight there. I showed my loyalty and respect to Paul only to once again show up and be.
Oh, you went to Paul's first. That's
yes.
Yeah.
And then I went over there. Sure.
That's
Paul
interesting
doesn't
because
respect me.
He was criticizing people about who don't come around or who would go over there. It's interesting that you went over there first. It's just interesting.
Yes. And see, this is what I mean.
Were you shown
Paul
respect
can
at
find.
London Man?
What's that?
Were you shown respect at London Man's?
Oh yeah, quite a bit. It was nice conversations, and I don't think it was all about Paul either. We talked about a bunch of different things. Building community, actually, using these tools and opportunities of YouTube, social media. We can do a lot of things if we fucking grow up.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. Yeah, well, we waste a lot of time, man. It's a good thing that I'm a child because I waste a lot of time and it's entertaining to me, but I realize that I'm just slipping and not doing what I need to be doing.
The opportunity cost that we spend engaging in bullshit drama for entertainment. If anybody's not familiar with the phrase opportunity cost, it refers to the alternative, the most valuable alternative to what you could be doing. So,
wow.
I'm going to bring
a
full pen, and I'm going to offer some patience. Okay.
I'm going to shut up.
Are you doing that for you or us?
To allow the universe to reveal my next, I'm still figuring out what do I do with my future? Where do I focus my attention, my energy, my loyalty and support? Which direction should I go?
To God.
Away from Paul?
To God.
Away from Paul.
If that's what you think God has called you to do, that's your intuition.
Well, God has not called me to be publicly ridiculed just for the whims and entertainment of people who don't know me.
How would you know what God wants of you when you don't even know what God wants of us at all? You think I'm supposed to be humbled in front of the eyes of infidels?
Yes, because
absolutely not. I'm humble before the creational force, not infidels.
Hey, Paul, the creational
loud and proud like a lion.
Paul, you forget the creational force is within flow. It's and it's not just within you. So I put him to the back. I'm done with the juvenile behavior.
Do you think?
Fuck him,
then
Jack.
I'll shut up.
Fuck Paul, Jack. Leave him back there, man. I'm done.
What happened to you, Lou? What happened to Lou? now in two different ways. What the fuck happened to Lou?
What the fuck you kicked me out for, Jack? I'm trying to merge with you guys.
I see you're being disingenuous.
Lou, why are you trying to merge?
I'm trying to merge because he doesn't love me too.
What happened to places, bro?
He doesn't love me like
oh yeah,
the other guys,
I lost
right?
patience.
It's like
pretty
all
quickly,
you guys. Yeah, I'm the same like you guys, right? He doesn't love you guys, and he doesn't love me like he loves everybody else, right? So fuck him.
Well, I think he loves all of us like he loves everybody else, which is not.
No, man, he
loves.
he fucking jokes on me.
He loves. he loves nobody but himself.
Lou and Tarek look like they're about to beat some ass. Like you owe them some money or something, don't they?
No, I'm very peaceful. You don't see me triggered. I'm not like that. I'm just trying to make sure Jack and him are okay. To be honest with you, I don't want to be at bad terms.
Yeah, no, I don't think I didn't mean that way. I just
it's
funny to me.
understood.
I like
Yeah,
you,
I
Tarek.
know.
Even though I think you're a weirdo for your position on things, I like you anyways.
You know what?
Which is fine. That's your opinion. You're entitled to it. You're fine.
Listen, I don't know you, but the fact that you don't get triggered and jump like so many grown men who are really, I consider women, I just can't say it. The fact that you learned that lesson that we should have been learned, big ups. It seems to be a difficult thing here.
And I don't know him either. This is my first time talking to him. This is just
well,
I guess
it's not a permanent statement. I don't.
Right, it might change. I think it's
right.
I'm trying to get a signal. There we go.
This is what disappoints me. Maybe Ice Grills is maybe this is something different, but thanks to the narrative of people like Paul, there's a lot of doubt. What does Jack have to offer? I actually know for a fact I've got a lot to offer. I actually know for a fact, especially based on the way I've lived my past life, that I'm not a man to be pissed all over and fucking treated like a joke. Okay? I'm actually a man who takes life seriously. I know how to have fun, and I'm a fun dude. But this is my life that is being
Jack,
shared.
could you be overthinking it when it comes to this YouTube shit? Could it be simple as something as simple as there are a lot of trolls out here? It's entertaining to a lot of people. We poke and prod everyone we can to see who reacts the biggest. Those people get the most attention. Could it be that simple?
I mean, there's a lot of reasons for a lot of things. I get it. Yeah. From a business aspect, I understand that. But see, like my question to Jack is this, okay? It doesn't matter what Paul does for his name and everything else. Whatever. I like Paul in terms of his knowledge and what he stands for. That's a fact. But Jack, I never hated you or anything like that. But my question to you is, you known Paul like for a long time. Why didn't you discuss your family things, for example, not on public, where it never, you never have to bring it up to the broadcast? This way, it's not sensitive to you. That should have been maybe discussed between you and him on the phone or something.
Well, no. Hey, see, this is a foolish assumption. Paul has been very proud of the fact he has never allowed a private conversation between us. He's actually never allowed a human man-to-man conversation because he's constantly in this fucking character and worried about content. So please don't blame me for being open, because I'm not sure if you... I've explained myself many different times in many different ways. There is something unanswered, unresolved, unexplained so far that's been happening in my life as a result of what's happened in my community with my physical existence. I have found my way on YouTube. Now, yes, YouTube and social media brings a lot of trolls. A lot of people are attracted to smart people. So,
you mean drama?
What I've been studying though is the human ego. Okay, I've been studying psychology, sociology, human behavior. I understand thoughts and emotions, which all ties into many of the spiritual messages.
What about yourself? Do you understand yourself, Jack?
Yes, very well. This is the point. This is what I know. I'm telling anyone who wants to understand themselves better, please spend some time with me. I'll help you know you, because I'm an honest reflection, one who has a very broad experience and education.
You're my most honest reflection when you're just going about your shit and I'm just observing you. That's when you're my best reflection.
I like disagree with that on Jack. I'm sorry, I disagree with you there. See, here's my opinion on this thing, right? I've seen you many times, I've seen you many times the past month go from Paul's channel and talk good with him and good about him, and then go to another channel or your channel and talk bad about him. That's not a character of a man.
Interesting.
Okay.
And especially if you say you're spiritual.
Hey, Tarek. What type of man? What type of man hides in denial, refuses to accept what is offered as fact?
Right. We just ain't learned that part of it.
Okay.
That lesson.
So here's my
hey Tarek. I know you deflected the topic into your disagreement. Your disagreement came forward after I talked about what I actually do know. I claim God has blessed me with a wealth of knowledge and a very different experience than many others. I believe,
I agree with you in some ways.
As I said, I've explained this before, and I know it can sound blasphemous or egoic or whatever, but this is what I'm seeing. I dedicated my life to devotion towards God. I wanted to understand God. Okay. Now, you guys seem to completely ignore that aspect of me, right? But I claim to be very at peace and one with the Creator in me.
Do you understand how fun it is, Jack? The moment must end. No day can end because you are that peaceful guy without a dozen niggas triggering you until it happens. They must show you a hypocrite. Yes. You said it yourself. They do not like you.
I know. Everyone wants to see the
I said I don't like that
because people don't want to believe me. People want to reject the truth that we can have peace, that maybe being abusive towards other and arrogant and insulting, maybe that is not actually the best way to help each other.
I agree. It can't be a hammer all the fucking time. Paul, this is for you. You got to have more approaches. It can't be the hammer all the fucking time with Jack.
Amen.
Truth, rights, principles.
Freedom. Paul's freedom. Freedom to do whatever he wants, say whatever he wants. Truth be damned. Because if you've got an objection, I'll just talk over you and I'll change the conversation and you'll never come back to correct the record.
Good one. That was dope. Your shit was so dope. I lost my shit.
Those are played out talking points, man. It's not that simple, Joe Cool. I'm a big fan of yours, but I don't think it's that simple.
I love it. You know I do that. If you know me, that's a good thing. I love to hear the other side.
Here, I don't like talking about Paul without him here. He is in the back.
Yeah, you should
right.
I'd actually rather.
Before you bring him up, I wanted to say something because I'll never get this out about the different tools. Paul has a point. The hammer has its uses, and he wins that argument all day. The part that the argument that he must stay off of is that there are other tools in the bucket, because the more tools you have, the more I see you using them. If I see you using a hammer all the time, make you think that's the only thing you're a shitty mechanic. I need to see you using really odd devices. That's why I know you're really good. All right.
In defense of Paul, I have seen him use. I've seen him use his insight with care on occasion. He's tried
with you. I'm talking about you.
Yeah, right? With me, not so much. Yeah,
okay.
Not so much. But welcome, Billy the Kid.
That's what we're trying to solve, Jack.
Jack, thank you. Just been listening. I guess for like the last hour. I mean, it's very entertaining. I had never thought I was going to be here for an hour watching you.
We've been here for
Joe,
and
Flo, you know, it's just amusing to me because I'm trying to figure out what the heck's going on here. It's like you just got thrown into like this soap opera that you've never seen before, and you just
All right, Billy.
you're trying to figure it out.
If you've been
Good luck.
watching, Billy.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah. Give up on that bullshit.
Yeah.
Billy, do you have any
You'll find no
advice or
logic here.
opinions for the things? Yes. Advice or opinions for any of the things we've discussed?
I'm still trying to take it all in, to be honest with you.
Okay.
It's like a big question right now.
Well, here,
I don't know how long Jack and Paul have been. Apparently, they've been seeing each other. They've been seeing each other for many, many months, and I don't know how deep the relationship is.
I don't either. And I've been knowing these
if it's
for a
even
long
going to
time
succeed.
now.
So we'll see.
It's all on YouTube. I have sent probably 24 emails over the past year, and every one of those was an effort of support, encouragement, trying to explain, trying to resolve. But instead of accepting my honest efforts, you guys get to hear how I'm a little bitch and I'm constantly seeking his attention and I'm emailing him every day. Bullshit.
That's how you characterize it.
Okay. So, hey, I'm going to bring Paul back up. He's been waiting patiently.
Thank you.
I know. Let him speak.
My patience is still very limited. I feel complete.
Wait. Give him some leeway. Give him a little bit. He's going to irritate you and say something stupid damn near immediately. Just tell him you're going to give it a while. Mute your mic.
Hey, good shave, Billy. Good shave. You shaved that thing off.
So I've been practicing patience for another 20 minutes in the back, all throughout the broadcast, 20-minute increments. You can't seem to practice patience for more than 40 seconds without feeding into your impulses and compulsions. Who do you think's a little bit more practiced in certain things? Practice makes perfection, right?
Results.
Yeah, another thing we can't look at with Jack.
I've tried to.
The best part of all this, it's not even about Jack at this point. The folks sitting around Jack and accepting any of this bullshit he's putting forth is really just convicting them.
It's all bullshit. I like that. Nothing factual has been said whatsoever. You just found bullshit. Bullshit is between your ears, Paul. When you pull your fucking head out of your ass and learn humility and respect for your fellow human beings, you'll become
I like to
man who's
ask
worthy
Paul
of respect.
if he thinks he's humble, if he fits that definition of humble. I'd like to know that. And could you bring it up again, Flo?
Huh?
Could you bring up that definition of humble again?
Oh, yeah, yep.
And I'd like to ask Paul if he thinks he fits that definition.
I agree. I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Here, do you want me to share screen or just read it off again?
I'm okay.
What, the definition of humble?
Yeah.
I'll read it off.
Oh, I
think humble. Jack's very humble.
Would you like me to recite it from memory?
Yes.
Lowered in position or status? Does that ring a bell?
Read the entire thing. It was really good. Read the entire thing, Flo.
Marked by meekness or modesty in behavior, attitude, or spirit, not arrogant or prideful, showing deferential or submissive respect, low in rank, quality, or station.
Meek, modest, submissive.
Do you think you're entitled to that from other human beings toward you?
We were talking about whether you are that. Yeah, we was.
Have I been showing that less than Jack Talcott here today? What's the standard?
That is again a different question. The question is, what do you think about you? Do you fit those characteristics?
I've already said it many times before the creative.
No, you haven't. Hey, Paul, this is a new moment.
Answer or just keep using me as a pinata and playing power games with me? You guys are pathetic men. You're not men.
You're not the king, brother. You are not the fucking king. You are not the god on this channel. So,
you see how quick I got called?
You're not gonna come.
I told you when I say something, I get called names. That didn't take long, bro.
Paul's arrogance. Okay.
Tarek, what did you think? Do you still stand by? He's humble.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, no, I stand by. I'm not like I stand by Paul all the way. He's trying to get his point across.
Is jump subjects. You're not gonna narrow him down. It's not gonna happen. He is not going there. Brother.
He's humble before the spirit. Maybe not other men. It may not seem other men,
Nope.
but
That was
dope.
He is not Christos. Christos, you willing to a disagreement? You willing to know differently? He does not humble himself to the spirit.
Right.
That's a lie.
That's a deflection.
Is it? I thought I was thankful for him presenting an alternate argument.
No,
I hadn't even thrown it around in my head yet.
Look at what he's really saying. He's not humbling himself to any of you motherfuckers. Just
in the end, it ends there. In the end, it will end there. Yes.
It's a philosophical argument that sidesteps.
I hadn't thrown it around in my head yet, but in the end, it must end there with you get no humbleness, nigga. Yeah, that's what
right.
It is. Yeah,
that's what that is.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Provo. Sharing the channels.
Yeah, thanks, Provo.
This deal, guys, this is a fellow human being who's coexisting right now. And I know our world deserves better. Our world deserves better than
Paul
practices. Than the practices of our collective, of our society.
All right. Thank you.
Our world deserves better than just sitting around complaining, talking about how good we are at complaining.
Fuck yes, we do it too much. Now what?
Well, this humility.
Now we drink.
Okay, actually, this word humble. Guys, this word humble. Humility is something I was taught when I was young. Okay. I was one of those kids. I didn't want to be seen, didn't want to be heard. I was very humble. Don't want any credit or blame. Just leave me
my
alone.
nuts. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Joe, I can't save you again.
Hey, this is the past. Now, my path, I learned humility early, but I had to learn confidence. Okay, Paul has learned confidence. I'm here to teach him, help him, not teach. I'm here to offer him an example. You know, the way we can humbly communicate with one another, actually honoring the spirit that's within Flo, within Joe, Billy, Christos.
Yes, I'll give you that. I don't think Paul is coming with that spirit with you right now. He's angry or whatever y'all got going on, but he does not have that spirit right now.
And I'm going to push back on that being confidence. It's arrogance, but it's not confidence. Confident people don't walk around feeling the need to bash other people and bring everybody else down to keep themselves relatively elevated. That's not how confidence works.
Very good.
Thank you for that correction, because you're absolutely right. There is a difference between confidence and arrogance. And the arrogance,
when you're confident, you become meek and humble. When you don't see those things, you assume a motherfucker lacks confidence, right? Then when you accuse him of it, you get called a whatever I just got called, a bastard or something.
Right. Well,
I like that Billy initiates the wearing shades inside thing for me.
Oh yeah,
I love you wearing those shades, Flo. You almost look like a young like Sammy Hagar, man. Honestly,
this is a little subject change, but I know Billy. And he is a fan of cop watchers and shit like that. And if he sees a cop, he'll pull his camera out. One day he decided to show me a vid. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know you knew this shit. Sound like a professional Wall Street businessman out there. He couldn't convince me it was him. No fucking way that's that dude, man. Right now my man slurs his words, is drinking beers. That motherfucker hit the street, man. I don't know. I don't know. He's a talented fuck, and he don't even do that shit.
Joe, man, when I do these cop watches, I'm completely sober.
Interesting. See, I didn't know that.
Okay, completely sober.
You have to be. Right. Yeah, that's
all right.
Good.
Because I always see you about 12 in. You're right. I was like, no.
Well, right now I'm only. I think I'm like. This is like my third beer, so
I'm not gonna believe that. I've been knowing you for years.
It's true. It's true story.
But I'm not. No chance I believe that, because really it's got to be in the teens every time I ask you that shit.
It's usually after midnight.
Yes, we're at night, right?
We're very early.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're usually doing this shit at 3 in the morning and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. I'll be live later. Don't worry.
He'll be on 30 by then.
No, I was on a strike, man. They put me on strike for a week because I was like sharing third-party videos, like sharing. I don't know what the hell, man. I'm gonna still fight it, but I get my channel back today, so I got it back.
Oh, wow. I'm not surprised though. I've seen more porn bombs on your panel than Pornhub, right?
Oh man.
Hey,
I want to thank you.
I got to subscribe to that.
Man, say, what's this channel? I gotta subscribe.
I gotta get
Can I
stuff on it, dude.
I'm going to cam off real quick while I check it out.
Do what?
Billy the Kid Norwood at YouTube. I've got my own little name there. Yeah.
Hey, I want to bring it back to hopefully topic, the idea of humility. Okay, my experience, when we can humble ourselves to the divine,
I'm gonna get yelled at, Flo. I'm gonna get yelled at. All right.
Let him finish his thought and then get yelled at.
All right, okay. Sorry, you're right.
Well, when we can humble ourselves to the divine, then our faith can actually grow. But we've got to humble our egos. And so what is divine? What I've defined for myself, what is divine is life. But beyond that, it's through life that truth and love, those are the divine forces that I worship. I take truth very seriously. I take love very seriously. And I take life very seriously. Not just my life, but the lives of those people who are dying in Palestine and Yemen and Ukraine and Uganda and fuck oh dear.
The humbleness, the humbleness we were talking about, I think I phrased it in my head where I don't have to get yelled at. So thank you for giving me time. Still, it might be a bit uncomfortable. I'm afraid that to use your thing when you're talking about your story in the past, where you stayed alone and stuff like that. You followed up with, "I was humble." I wouldn't believe that. I would believe you were alone because you were shy or whatever, bullied or something. I wouldn't believe you were so humble that you stayed alone. All right, now bring that up to where we are now. I'm afraid that I think that now a bit of the humbleness you're claiming, and you're a humble fuck, certainly more humble than most of us, more humble than me. But some of the humbleness you're claiming may be from that fear-based shit, like when you were a kid. That's just, I got to be honest, that's what struck me.
Respect. It could be that, but please trust. Please trust that my humility, my surrender, it's not out of fear. It is out of love. It's out of my love for peace. I'd much rather lose an argument, lose a fight, have someone think whatever the fuck they want.
I can believe that shit. Yes. Absent a trigger, you're cool with losing a fight or an argument or something. You don't trigger. So people know what triggers you, and they perfected it apparently. But when we have these things and we're having discussions, I'm able to give a alternate shit, and there's no fear, and I'm gonna be kicked in the fucking basement for giving 1,000% different opinion than you do. And that's pretty much what I do, is give alternate opinions. And you're humble
because you're an infidel.
All right, here's
sick. Yeah, something wrong.
Admittedly, let's not overlook the contradictions. I come on and I express some arrogance at times. You're
lightweight. It's hard to fucking find. It's lightweight instances. Okay, a couple popped in my head, but it's lightweight.
What I found most helpful and what I know is necessary for our world. Humans, the ego impulse wants to place itself above what is true.
Yes.
Okay. And that's what I've been experiencing, and we've been witnessing with Paul. He places himself as though he is the all-knowing, and then there's a lot of people who believe he is.
We're battling that ego shit, right? We're all fighting that battle.
Yes.
A lot of books written on that shit.
But it gets put up there in the first place because it's out of a defense, right?
Out of an insecurity, agreed.
It's an insecurity, right? So you overcompensate by dismissing reality and
of
placing
course.
your right. So
and the more you're able to bullshit, the more you're able to sustain yourself up there, right? Which is the reason a person couldn't hear a good argument, or a reason why they might want to avoid an argument, avoid a true argument, a true argument point, by calling you names or doing all these things or putting you down. That way they never face that moment where they can remain a god. They never face that moment where they're challenged argumentatively.
It gets to be a lot to carry around, though.
Agreed, of course it does, especially when you got niggas who poke you every day.
Shit, right? Yeah. Reality has to conform to your bullshit, or else you got to get rid of it. And
that's all right. They had a good study about cops where they said that the suicide rate was so high, and that's why they had to surround themselves with only fellow officers, family members, and shit, because they had to support that reality. When people get in, they have to hear other opinions. The suicide rate went up. Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
that tells you something about their job, doesn't it?
It does. Right?
I wouldn't want their job. You know, there was a time when I was very young. You know, I was in the Army National Guard. I was an airborne infantryman and alert. And you know, I was like, man, I could do that. There was other people in my unit. You know, I was in a National Guard unit, Texas Army National Guard, and there was other people in the unit that were police officers, that were firefighters. You know, and you know, of course, I got out and I did my little drinking and driving thing and got popped. You know, and that kind of just, you know, then it just, man, the whole thing snowballed, and that never happened for me. I ended up learning guitar.
Sound like you regret it, by the way. Sounds like you regret it.
No, I don't regret it at all, because
I became a cop and I'd be arguing with you, Joe Cool, at night on your job.
Well, I learned how to play guitar, you know. Actually, I started learning how to play guitar before I started drinking, matter of factly. Maybe it was that, you know, I got out of the National Guard. I started playing guitar. I had some, you know, middle school schooling with the drums, the percussion. And so I had a little bit of knowledge with music. So I picked up a guitar at the age of 21 years old, about 31 years ago, I guess now. It's a long time ago.
Goddamn.
And I got in a cover band within like 2 years, man. And I've got several of the videos on my channel from that gig we played. It's like horrible quality video. It was on an 8mm tape. My father was recording.
Okay, hey Billy.
Yes, sir.
That was a nice trip down memory lane.
What was the question?
Right, exactly. So, brothers and sisters, all due respect, I want to thank you guys for joining. I am going to wrap it up.
All right.
Continue on to future adventures in the day. Anything parting wise words of wisdom from you?
It's been a fucking blast as always. You catch me easy.
Congratulations on making it to the end, Joe.
Yes.
I guess I'm next, right? Please subscribe to me at Billy the Kid Norwood. I'm at YouTube, and you will see beach videos. You'll see concert videos from Toto. You'll see my videos from my concerts and my tribute bands. I was in a Rush tribute band as well.
There's a lot of Billy the Kid channels. It's the one that's got that picture of Billy the Kid on it.
Yeah, it's got the picture of Billy the Kid. This one, well, I'll stop cam and show you right there.
Yep.
That's it. So if you see that, that's me. And I'm going to be putting more videos up as time moves forward. And maybe one day I can have as many subscribers as Jack does. We'll see. You know, I'm pushing 1,100 now, so we'll see what happens.
Thanks, Billy.
And Jack, thank you. Also, Jack, thank you for having me up. I did have 3 days sober, but, you know, I worked yesterday 15 hours.
Found an excuse.
And no, it's always an excuse. But
very nice.
You know what? It's my life.
Yep.
And as long as I'm not hurting anybody or threatening anybody or hurting anybody's property or all that, I can do what I want, right?
Yep. Have a good night, Billy. Thank you, brother. You can. You continue to do as you do. Don't change. Live the rest of your life the way it was. Thank you. And I don't mean to be rude, but flow final words, brother.
No, I was just curious before everybody. I don't know everybody's age now, but I was wondering what the collective age of the panel was when all four of us were still back up here. Because like when he said he picked up a guitar at 21, 31 years ago, I was like, holy fuck, I'm 36 and I'm the youngest guy on this panel. This is the old ass corner of YouTube. But
you're only 36.
Yeah,
dude, you
it's
look
been
old.
a long 36 years.
All right. Thank
Thanks for having me on.
All right. God bless. Brothers and sisters, those who tuned in, those who joined the panel, those who made it on and didn't make it on, thank you for joining. This is my experience. I was following my faith when I hit that go live button. I was following my faith to see what the universe might reveal today. And for those who tuned in, I apologize for it turning into kind of a bitch session, so to say. I know I saw that description in the comments, and sure, you can present that narrative. I've been trying to resolve. I've been trying to create resolve with Paul, with others in my life, and it seems that people aren't interested in resolve as much as they are about trying to prove me wrong. I mean, I'm seeing Tarek's face here in the background, and I know Paul's in the back still. So it really makes me wonder why. Why would it be that so many people want to oppose, want to distract, want to insult, want to detract from what is trying to be offered? And I've explained myself. I've tried to be as open, as honest, as clear as I can about my faith, my love. Brothers and sisters, the way of life is to be a spiritual being, one who cares, one who becomes an example for others by offering truth with love, with the heart of a servant, not the heart of a dictator, not the heart of a policeman to go around judging and beating people up because of what you think. Paul, you are delusional, man. And one day God will allow the veils of confusion to be lifted. Maybe someone who cares about you, Paul, will actually pull you aside and have a conversation with you about, I don't know, the truth of your arrogance, the missed opportunities that you're ignoring. Because brothers and sisters, I know we are. Like it or not, we are the solution for tomorrow. We are the solutions for each other. This idea of every man for himself, and you gotta have results before I listen to what you say, or even worse, like Paul has done with me. You gotta have results before you can even be heard. You're a fucking fool. And I'm sitting here, brothers and sisters, there's a lot of faces that just came through my mind. The people who have shown me no care, no respect, just taken advantage of kindness. And I pray often, brothers and sisters, I have. This is Jack being honest now. I pray often, and I'm not a victim. What is going on? I mean, if in fact, I tried to get this out earlier and I know how it sounds, if in fact God is using us all, if in fact we are all part of creation here to be messengers of truth and lessons and blessings for one another, if that is true, then we are each examples of God and man. We are both, just like Jesus was, the I am that he became is within us all. I think people today, I can't say this any more clearly of what I hope my goal to be. I believe I'm trying, these are my intentions, to be a messenger for the truth of God's love for you to understand. Now, if you want to reject me because of the opinions of others or because you've imagined standards for me, God bless you. Peace be upon you. May you find your way to blessings and abundance, but if you don't want to learn from someone like me, please go elsewhere. Hey, Rodney, is that honest? Fascinating. Anyway, brothers and sisters, thank you again for tuning in. I hope, should we return tomorrow, should this happen again, I hope the universe brings more positive participants, and I'll continue to reach out, see if we can get some guests who actually want to have deep discussions. I mean, not to dismiss those who joined today, but today was a common conversation about the interruptions by one of our peers. Fucking A. Anyway, praise be. Peace for everyone. Choose love. Love above all. God bless and live without fear.